All right. Hopefully everybody is doing pretty nice on this Saturday. It was a very nice Saturday. And, yeah. We did get some Starfield stuff. There we go. We did get some Starfield stuff. And, you know, it was okay. Let me get my buddy Died in here. We can talk about some different things, but I am getting very hyped for the Starfield. I'm not really getting like overly hyped. I'm just like, you know, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling like, you know, time's actually going by. We're getting closer. And yeah. Definitely talk some Destiny 2 State of the Game that was revealed. Was that Wednesday or Thursday? Whatever it was very lackluster. Hey, there's my buddy.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, man. Good morning. I'm live streaming.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I just wanted to hear your voice, bud. It's nothing like waking up in the morning and hearing your voice.
Why? Why would you want that in your life? Nobody wants that.
I know.
It's like saying there's nothing like waking up in a desert with no water for miles. It's so refreshing. Nobody says that.
Dude. I've been in a desert with no water. It sucks. But man, when it rains, it is fucking wonderful. It's the only lubricant you have. That's all I'm gonna say.
That is a very mentally disturbing image.
What are you up to today? What do you see? You're playing the Diablos 4s, Diablo 4s.
Yeah, man. Just grinding.
Cool. You're pretty aggressive on the on hitting Shadow last night.
I was expecting you to respond with the under-over game and come up with some under-overs for me. But
we can play that game now. No.
Sure, go for it. Under-overs. We need a third party to be the judge though and play the game.
Yeah, Cyan's on. We can get him in here, but I don't think he likes playing this game. Hey, Fisty's on. He's playing Remnant too.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of Remnant too. He's been enjoying it.
Good. Ah, man. I got a question for you though. It's not an over-under, but it's definitely a question. I was kind of thinking about this. Did Jesus, I just had something stick in my throat. Hold on. Did Destiny 2's State of the Game do more harm than good?
1000%. They should just not release the State of the Game. The only reason you would release a State of the Game like that is if you want to set expectations going in to a showcase so that when people heard the bad news in the showcase were able to imply something, they would just be like, oh yeah, that's what they meant by that, and they'd move on with it instead of focusing on that and not focusing on the thing they wanted you to focus on in the showcase.
Yeah.
So if you give someone time to mentally process something, the impact of that news, that negative news, is going to diminish, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you tell someone, hey guys, you know, we're gonna have to downsize some people. There's gonna be some layoffs. You know, and then later that week, 5 of your 6 friends at the company gets fired, then you're gonna be like, well, that sucks, but at least it wasn't me. You're gonna process relief, right? Now, if you are the guy that gets fired, well, you're not so relieved, right? But like, that's what I think they're doing. The only reason you would release a state of the game like that is to set expectations and lower expectations. Because typically, don't they do their state of the games in like?
They do it in the beginning of the year. That's
well,
what
okay,
Astrocross
so
was saying.
Hang on, I'm trying to think of it though. He said that, but also in the past couple of years they've shifted when they release the game. So how many years has the game released?
I always thought it was the halfway
February?
point in between expansions.
Yeah, so how many years has the game released in February as opposed to like October? I know Shadowkeep was like an October release.
Past 2.
Beyond Light was not early in the year, it was... Yeah,
Awesome.
So when did they release the state of the game last year is a good question. Because I want to say, I think they released it in like August or something last year too. So people are calling it an emergency state of the game, but I don't think it's necessarily an emergency. I think it's just their shift calendar, like...
Yeah, to me it's always been like the halfway point. It's been around the time where they get ready to do the new round of advertising for the next expansion.
You know, and I want to say that we tried to look this up last year too, and it was a thing where we couldn't because they had removed a bunch of articles off their site and stuff.
Yeah. I think you were looking that up. That's weird. Anyways, yeah, I just, dude, I don't know, man. I look at, I mean, obviously it just wasn't impressive. It just wasn't. But I haven't watched, I watched Astrocross's like 17-minute video on like his thoughts about the state of the game or whatever, but it wasn't all the thumbnails I've seen from all those D2 content creators, even the lore guys are like, damn, this was bad. This was bad. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of brutal, man. When like even people that don't have gameplay channels are like, they're really worried about the
I've seen a lot
side,
of like former Destiny content creators have moved on to bigger and better.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those guys come back to Destiny and comment on how bad it is. Because they're probably like, even though they're content creators for another thing, they may still be playing Destiny like on the back end, you know?
Yeah.
Just not making it content, right?
Yeah.
So like Charlie, Moist Critical, he used to be a big Destiny YouTuber. He's got a channel called Pigman H2O.
Yeah.
You may have seen him. He's live streaming on Twitch as Voice Critical or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of content creators that are kind of coming back to Destiny and be like, oh, you done fucked up.
Yeah. Well, what's kind of interesting though, kind of my hot take. It's kind of more of a theory, I guess, than a hot take, but I really think, in my opinion, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, maybe I have, but that Destiny 2 here over the past couple of years got pretty bloated for its player count, and I think a lot of that had to do with there was just a lack of top-notch games coming out. and they were kind of just getting that benefit of a lot of just the lack of competition, I guess, in the gaming area. But this year, especially here recently, over the past like month or two, we've seen a lot of games come out that are kind of a little bit more top notch, like Diablo 4, Remnant. There was Zelda even like 2 months ago, and you were seeing a lot of people go off and play other games, and you know, I think a lot of people are seeing other games are bringing much better gameplay experiences and unique experiences, and Destiny 2 is stuck back in the same gameplay experience that it was at D1 launch. Like there hasn't been much different changes, except for like, you know, on the character side. Like
there's been a lot of slow incremental changes in the gameplay experience, but it's not been, you know,
like,
because at its core, it's always going to be the same thing. It's going to be a first-person looter shooter / MMO, right? Like that's what it is, right? Like it's not. For years they went away from calling it an MMO, but it's kind of like an MMO. They've slowly introduced more and more MMO mechanics to it over the years. So, yeah, I think at its core, it's never going to change from that formula.
Well, yeah.
So if you're talking about gameplay experiences, it's, you know, how far can you deviate from that formula and still provide new experiences?
Yeah. I'm not talking about it changing from that formula, really. What I'm saying is, like, there needs to be new things in the sandbox that make playing the game feel really much more unique than what it's been.
Sure.
And you know, I was really surprised they haven't introduced like better mechanics around raid bosses, because I mean it's for the most part it's like all the same kind of deal. You do some mechanic and then the whole fire team goes into, oh shit, I am at a wall. Then the whole fire team goes into damage phase, and it's just like, dude, it's the same thing. And it's like most of the fire team, you know, you're usually doing the damage phase together. Damn it. So I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I'm not a game developer. I don't need to come up with the ideas for what they need to do, right? But
people talk about engine limitations a lot, and I think that there are certain things that are engine limitations they're not even considering. Like, because as far as things like raid mechanics, don't you think that Bungie has probably played around with different ideas, or had people say, well, what if we do this, or this was suggested on Twitter, or is that possible to code? And in their current engine, they just can't do it. And it's not, and it may not even be the engine itself. It may just be other parts of the code that are incompatible with doing certain mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
or it may be possible, but it'd be too difficult. Like if you had a jumping puzzle going into a damage phase, well, why can't we do that? Well, because everybody, like the average skill of the player isn't there, and it'd be too hard, and blah blah blah.
That's
or
the whole point of raids. They ain't freaking strikes, man.
Or, you know, oh, well, what if we had a single person mechanic? Well, we did that in the past, like.
Yeah,
with Crota, we don't want to have everybody running the sword, because then there'll be those players that just want to stand back and shoot rockets, and nobody knows how to do sword guy. Like, yeah. So they have made both intentional design choices to prevent certain mechanics, like single person mechanics, and may have design limitations on the other side of it. You know. Where they can't do certain ideas.
Yeah.
So, and that's I'm sure part of it is engine limitations and part of it is design philosophy and stuff like that. So it's, yeah. I think that
The ship is on fire.
Astrocross may have said it best, kind of just in passing when he was talking to Les, but he was like, hey, if the point was to get us in an all-time low so that they can bring out something good and blow us out of the water, I'm there. Like, we're in all-time low territory.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, they're definitely there, but it's just like, well,
If this were the
it's a
stock
pretty dangerous
market,
way to run a business, though. I can tell you that.
well, if this were the stock market, right, and now in 2023 is where we were at.
Mm-hmm.
They want to roll us back to previous expectations. I would say they were trying to put us back at the 2008 crash. Like, that's where they're trying to go. Curse of Osiris time frame lows. Yeah. Like, this is where we're at. Because, you know, that's another good question too. How many players did they have during the Curse of Osiris time frame when they said they were like 5 weeks away from shutting the studio down? I think it was like 500,000 players was their critical mass point. We're not much above that now.
Yeah.
Now they probably have a lot more ways to monetize those players.
Oh yeah.
But if you take
more.
if you take a player base that's already frustrated, they're going to be much less likely to purchase microtransactions. And the more you push them towards microtransactions, the more frustrated they're going to get. So it's a very delicate balance.
See, but I'm not. I don't even think microtransactions are a problem in the game. Like, to me, it's not even a problem. Like, I don't give a crap. Like I don't care if a game wants to monetize its stuff, but
I don't care about microtransactions specifically, except for the things that they said, like the armor sets, the yearly armor sets they promised us. Right?
Oh yeah.
It used to be literally every time we got a new season, the vendors would refresh.
Yeah.
Right? Like in, I want to say, Shadowkeep era, it was every time we got a new season, there'd be slightly different armor sets, Vanguard and stuff like that. And then they said, no, now it's going to be yearly. And now they're saying, no, that's too hard. You can only do it once a year.
Well, they didn't say it was too hard. They said, they said it's because nobody uses them. And Astrocross was right about this, because, yeah, they're the crappiest looking armor in the game, dude.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if you're saying, hey, nobody uses them, I'm sorry, you crank out literally 3 or 4 purchasable sets per season in the Eververse store.
Yeah, exactly.
You're telling me you can't carve out the bandwidth for one employee to design an armor set in an entire year? Be like, hey guy, this is your side project. You have an entire year. Take 1 quarter and make a piece of the armor set for the next year. 1 quarter out of the year, you make a piece, and then somewhere in there, you're just gonna have to make an extra piece. You might have to work 3 hours overtime. That's your job. You're telling me that guy can't do that?
Yeah.
That is, and the answer, there.
The ship is on fire.
I think Paul Tassi, when he was describing it, probably said it best, is that there was a lot of things in there that they're telling you, but they're not telling you because they can't tell you, because if they say it explicitly, then it looks really bad. What they're telling you is they can do that, but they won't. And that the majority of their PvP player base is going to other games like Marathon. That's where their bandwidth is going. They're designing other games. They are but they can't say we can't do this because we're working on other games, because then people will say, well, Destiny's essentially dead, they're not working on it, you know? I think Bungie's playing a very dangerous game in thinking that it's okay to take away key designers and say, no, it's just steady state. It's a maintenance team now. It's not. The maintenance team can handle the design of the new content, not the people who actually designed the initial content.
I mean, if
right?
that's what they're trying, if that's what they're saying where they're at in the game, then yeah. Because, yeah, I mean, they're not introducing new content. I mean, they haven't done it for the PvP side. I don't care about PvP because I don't play it.
Right, but in a live service game where your entire business model lives and dies with the fact that you're introducing new content, that's a very dangerous game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and like, I guess the live service part of it, it's only been really, you know...
He also talked about.
It's really all.
Tassie also. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, not you. It's freaking. I got lit on fire. God damn, I'm gonna die. No, the. I don't even know what I was gonna say now. It kind of just frustrated me.
Paul Tassie also said that Bungie's in a very monetize everything mode, and if you look at other free-to-play games, they are basically doing a bunch of stuff in microtransactions because they're not making money off of anything. When Bungie went free-to-play, it kind of walked it back in a sense.
Dude,
that all the stuff that was free-to-play
nothing gay
has been sunset.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Except for strikes and PvP. So therefore, if they make new content or strikes in PvP, you cannot monetize that, which is why I think they went to calling certain things battlegrounds, right? Because battlegrounds you can sell on a season pass, strikes are supposedly free to play, so if you introduce a new strike, it has to be free to play, and therefore you're making content you can't monetize, which is...
So strikes are part of the yearly expansion.
They actually never said that. Strikes aren't part of the yearly expansion. They do tend to release new strikes with yearly expansions because they're designing new playlists, and the way to double dip that is to make it a campaign story mission, then reverse it and call it a strike, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Well, yeah, as far as like the monetization goes, I mean, yes, they have a lot of those practices kind of going on right now, and they've had them for a while. But it's, I mean, just like, but that's not what kills games. Like monetization and monetization practices don't kill games. It's just the gameplay experience, and it's been so shitty for years. And one of the things that actually kept a lot of people around the past, I'd say past year and a half, 2 years, was really the lead up to Witch Queen. The Witch Queen story was fantastic, and then after that, it was really good until you get to Lightfall, and then Lightfall was absolute dog trash story. And then I'm gonna also hit back on what I said earlier. It's like now, but we're also seeing a lot of other games released right now that are really good. Are you fucking kidding me? You shit. So, I mean, people are looking at Destiny's kind of gameplay experience, and it's just super stale. It's just so stale. It's been that way for a very long time. Even when they've introduced new subclasses, they've made things easier on, you know, character management and stuff like that, and build crafting. But it's I mean, none of it's been good enough to like improve the experience.
Yeah, kind of completely agree.
And if you want to go back to that raid, you know, the whole raid mechanics thing, it's, you know, it's one that, oh, he's definitely going slow. It's one that they definitely have the ability to mix up the experience for raid and raid mechanics, because I mean, you could just split up and make like different sections for, you know, I guess a fire team, and you split it off into different, like 6 sections, and everybody has to take turn, but everybody's got to stay on a certain platform. You know, there's different things that they could do, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But they just don't. So, I'm out of here. There's too much shit shooting at me. Awesome.
I wonder sometimes, because you know Bungie's big enough that they probably have some.
And dude, that was.
They probably have a PR team, right? And I almost wonder if sometimes they don't get that PR sense from their community managers. Like, they almost need a PR person before they release stuff like this to look it over and be like, dude, that's not going to be received well.
Yeah.
You know, like, and because why else would you release something like this? Why would you say, or maybe they just completely have become tone deaf and
yeah,
don't get where the player base is at.
Yeah, and you know, that's kind of another thing that was pointed out in the state of the game is they said they don't have any resources, and didn't they just get bought out last year? Wasn't that last year when that Sony bought them? That was last year, right? $3.6 billion, and they're out of resources.
So where's their resources going? Other places.
We know where it's
going. They're not saying that they're
new IPs.
They're not saying that they're broke. What they're saying is they're out of resources because those resources are going to other places. Yeah. Like,
they're new games, new IPs, you know, Marathon, and apparently there's that game Matter, and apparently Matter and Marathon aren't the same thing from, you know.
Right.
So they have another game they're developing, and they're also working on the store, the Destiny show or whatever.
Well, and we think there's another.
And obviously that's not gonna be gaming resources, right? Because, you know, game developers aren't doing TV production. But yeah, I don't know, man. There was. It's kind of bad when you release a state of the game, and the only bright spot was basically, hey, you're going to be able to tag your favorite shaders. That was basically it. So, I don't know.
You were gonna say I don't want to beat a dead horse, but basically that's why you asked me to join this party.
No.
This is a dead horse beating party.
Oh, I should have changed the title of the live stream. Dead horse beating party. It's just, you know, I don't know. It's kind of tough because it's like you've invested 8-9 years of your life playing a game, and dude, I do want to see the end. I do want to see games do well. It sucks when games don't do well, even like Outriders. Even though that game kind of, for how good it was, it kind of fell off rather quickly. It was really kind of a bummer. But You know, it is what it is. It just kind of sucks. Get oh, he shot. Damn. Yep.
I think there are so many times when there's like IP that is so good, that has so much lost potential. And Destiny, I don't want to say that Destiny has
Torpedoes to starboard.
not captured a massive chunk of its potential, because it really has. But it also has so much lost potential that is just unreal.
Yeah.
You know, because each year that they uncover new chunks of the story, there's so much more potential there to go in different directions, to do things that people wouldn't expect, or to change up the game or flip it on its ear. They've done a lot of that, right? But no matter what path they choose, there's always lost potential. Like, and in some senses, it's that problem of you're never gonna live up to somebody else's expectations, right? Because even if you produce something that you think is truly great, there's always gonna be someone that wants something more. But I think Destiny's problem is they can't even get a lot of the steady state basics down, like, you know, a new PvP map every 3 months.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I don't know what the problem is with importing and why, you know, they're like, oh, it's too hard to import. It's too hard to import. Bitch, Beyond Light released 3 years ago. Okay, if you had taken that time and just imported one map a month into the engine, then you would have them all imported by now and nobody would be complaining.
Yeah, and Ascross kind of said it pretty good. He basically said, you know, it's not about. They said, oh, we got to make sure it's balanced for high-end PvP and all this other stuff. And he's like, dude, you could take your old maps and just import them. We don't give a shit about balance on every aspect of the game. Oh, that dude's screwed. You know, we just want more stuff to play, even if it's in the 6v6, you know, PvP modes. Like, it's just, we just want more diversity, more variety.
And why are they?
It's like we don't give a shit about it being, you know, balanced for every PvP game mode type. You know.
And why are they even bothering with Trials Labs? Nobody plays Trials Labs or Crucible Labs. Your main portion of your player base is not going to look at something like Crucible Labs and be like, oh, let me go play that game mode. No. Like, they just need to introduce new game modes straight into the live game. And if it doesn't work, then you can remove it from the live game with a patch. Put it directly in there. Don't be like, oh yeah, this is a Crucible Labs thing. Because people look at that and be like, it's not a finished product. I'm not going to bother playing it. That's how they see it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So something like the Relic game mode, for example, you know, it could be a super fun party mode. And maybe the answer is you have a playlist of party mode games. Like, a lot of games do this, where it's like, okay, here's the party mode playlist. Here's the easy playlist. Here's the competitive playlist. You know, it doesn't have to be the same game, but in a party mode playlist, you can make it to where it's like, okay, cool. Party mode playlist, you're not going to get the same mode, 18 maps in a run, whatever, but you're going to get a randomized map and a randomized mode. And it's going to be on a rotation. And because you could do something like a competitive mode being,
Main turret critically
you know,
damaged.
or even the party mode being, okay, this is a countdown, defuse the bomb kind of mode, or whatever,
Teammate,
you know,
I need your
supremacy.
support.
Like, they have so many modes that they've already introduced. You know, you could throw a vehicle mode into the party mode, right? You could throw SRL into the party mode
Yeah.
and have it all be in one playlist. And I think people would be down with that, but
Main turret critically damaged.
Bungie has a very specific idea of what they want Destiny to be, and if it doesn't fall into those guidelines, they're gonna say, well, that's not what Destiny is, and just not introduce those game modes into the
Problem
game.
solved, sir.
Fair enough. And that's cool.
SRL, people love it, don't care, that's not what Destiny is.
That's a SRL. by the way.
Racing simulator.
Oh, Sparrow
Sparrow
Racing
Racing
League. Yeah.
Yeah. People love
People
Sparrow
love
Racing.
that, man. People have been wanting that back
And-
for so long. What the hell? Why did that land so short?
I mean, if they wanted an easy win, that's all they would have to do. Be like, hey guys, we're reintroducing Sparrow Racing League in this event. 4 maps. Go slap on the spandex and go racing. And people would love it. Easy win.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't have ideas, it's that they need to implement the ideas that people have given them.
Yeah. Why are you? Oh my god. Dude, get this freaking.
All stations reporting the position of a strategic
Oh
target.
my. I don't know what the heck this Queen Elizabeth is doing, but that dude's freaking dead. I'm gonna try and get that. So what you trying to do today?
Diablo.
Right out.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
What are you trying to do today, World of Warships?
Honestly, I want to go take a nap for the next 25 days.
I feel like we're in Pinky in the Brain mode today. What are you trying to do? Same thing we're trying to do every night. Dare and take over the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks.
Net, what you just said is why I'm having a hard time saying whether I want to leave Destiny or not.
Why? What did I
Because
say?
you've locked into a game. You're excited about it, which is awesome, right?
Yeah.
You're waiting 25 days for the release of that game. And if you hop from game to game, that's what it is, as opposed to having one game that's a steady state game. And I've been looking for my one game to be a steady state game instead of Destiny. I haven't really found it yet, you know?
Yeah.
Because games as good as Diablo and stuff, they don't come around very often. And they can fill my time for like a month, 2 months, maybe even 3 months if I'm pushing it, but they have to have a very well-designed end game, and even Destiny doesn't have that end game like down to where I'll keep playing it for more than 3 months, right? Because I'll do the thing and I'll get through it and then I'm done. But then I know in 3 months they're gonna have something else, and that's part of the problem with something that is not
Awesome.
Destiny.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Because that release schedule is part of why Destiny is what they are. Like, nobody else has that 3-month release schedule just down like clockwork like Destiny does.
Yeah.
And I say 3-month release schedule, but that's actually kind of generous. Like, most years there's a season where there's a 5 or 6 month season. You know, like, yeah, we're just not gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
We should say the first half of the year is the 3-month release schedule, that like clockwork. The second half of the year is iffy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Destiny's in a fire spot right now. So how long is Diablo 4 going to last for you?
I don't know.
Oh no.
General quarters.
So here's where I see myself with Diablo 4. They're currently in a gameplay loop where the goal is get a character to 100. Why are you getting a character to 100? So you can beat Uber Lilith. Okay, what else is at 100? Not much. So what do you do to get to 100? You grind your face off in Nightmare Dungeons. Why do you grind your face off in Nightmare Dungeons? So that you can do higher level Nightmare Dungeons to go get to 100 to beat Uber Lilith. So their end game is basically the same as their leveling game, which is not a good spot to be. And then every 3 months, you do it all over again, potentially with a different character. So my first character, I'm already kind of burned out on my first character. He's a level 94. He's stuck in the Eternal Realm, which the Eternal Realm doesn't have all the XP bonuses that this realm does. So I can't even go back and level that original character as efficiently as I can a new character in the seasonal realm. So even if I wanted to finish that character off and get him to 100, it's in the most grindy part of the game, which is in that level, you know, the last 10 levels, which are the bulk of the experience in the game. So
Yeah.
like, I feel like I can't go back and finish that character off. I have to just, it's almost in some ways more efficient for me to play a seasonal character, even though that's not necessarily mathematically true. It's
Yeah. So I'm gonna turn this to Starfield real quick. I know you love talking. You love talking to me about Starfield stuff. But you know what? One of the things that I kind of realized a few months back that I think I'm gonna really love about Starfield is the single player element of it, because there's no seasonal aspect to it, right? It's just go play a game, man. Just go play a game. There's no crazy seasonal grind or anything like that. You kind of just go do whatever the fuck you want, and because that kind of stuff is just kind of worn on me, because it seems like a lot of games are just getting very exploitative as far as like how they introduce a lot of that stuff. And not to say that they shouldn't be. I mean, it's kind of just the nature of the beast, I guess. But I don't know. I just look at Destiny on the seasonal content. It just seemed like you just weren't getting as much anymore as it used to be. It used to be the seasons were really good. It just doesn't seem that way anymore. The stories are good, but the gameplay's not, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. But that's when I look at Starfield, it's like I'm not gonna have to worry about that at all. It's not gonna be a factor.
So one of the things that I've really enjoyed about Diablo has been the lack of a checklist, right? Like there is no, hey, do this every week or else you miss out on a potential drop for this thing, right? Really enjoyed that, because it doesn't mean my experience revolves around Tuesdays and weekly resets and things like that, right? In some ways, I could see where Diablo would be more enjoyable if they were not seasons, because then people could grind up characters at their own individual pace, and then once they had all their characters at level 100, they'd kind of be done with the game and they'd put it down. But the problem is that certain people have more time and level more efficiently than other people, right?
Yeah,
so,
are you talking about the non-blind people?
Well, no, I'm talking about just in general, right? So, like...
Yeah, I get you.
Zombie Shadow, he's trucking along in Diablo, he's at like level 50, right? Out of the people who are still playing Diablo from our group, I'm actually one of the highest level people. But like my friends Thargor and KDW, they're like 10 levels above me, right? So pre-season, so before season 1, they actually had multiple characters, and some characters at level 100. Viscus got a character to level 100. So I look at that and go, okay, so there would have been X amount of time that it would have taken the players, the community base, to get a character to level 100. And many people would have been like, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Of the people who wanted to roll multiple different characters, there would have been X amount of time it would have taken them to get those characters to whatever level they felt was appropriate, like whether it's level 80 to really experience the build, whether it was level 20 to be like, I don't like this playstyle, and the game would be done. So having everybody in one place doing one thing is very helpful, but seasons kind of extend the life of it. Like if this was your only game, you need seasons to reset and refresh and give you a purpose to doing something differently.
Jesus fuck, man.
With Diablo 4, I could also see taking a break for multiple seasons and coming back being very, very viable. because
Are you saying it's not viable in Destiny?
no, not at all. Because if you go, okay, you know, I'm taking a break for 6 months from Diablo, right? And I know the new season starts on this date, right? You can come back and be level 0 at the same time as everybody else.
Yeah.
And jump right back in and have a new experience and enjoy it, and then be like, okay, I'm out for another 6 months. With Destiny, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because you never feel like you're caught up. You always feel like you're playing catch up. Whereas in Diablo, if you come back in a new season, you're at the same spot as everybody else, and you know that is what that is.
Right. Yeah, and I get that. I get that. That is kind of appealing. It's like I mean, I didn't even play up to the 100 in the whatever the main realm was, the Shadow, whatever that was.
The Eternal Realm.
Yeah, that. And it's like, and I get it, dude. If I want to take a break from Starfield down the line, it's like, hey, you know, I'll go play some Diablo 4. I can go play it. Now, I'm curious, like there's seasonal stuff though. Like it's not like Destiny where it's like, you know, you get 4 seasons, an expansion cycle, you can play through it until the next expansion, right? It's not like that, and then it goes away. It's like every season's its own season, and then it refreshes. They do something different.
So every season is its own season, and from what I understand, with Diablo 3 at least, they had like a week break between seasons where there would be no season, just the Eternal Realm. And so that week or 2 week break or whatever may be the time that you need to, say, finish up a character that didn't quite hit 100, or you know, maybe try a different character before you go into it with seasonal, to like figure out if you like their playstyle or whatever, you know, like or maybe try advancing your hardcore character for a while or something.
Yeah.
Which that's something that Destiny doesn't ever really do, and I wonder how that would play out if Destiny had a time period in between seasons. It was like, okay, now we're back to no season. This is just what this is, you know.
Yeah.
You're not grinding for specific things or maybe it's a catch-up period where literally any craftable weapon in the game can drop during that time period as a catch-up mechanic. You know, that might not be bad for Destiny. To say, okay, here's a 2 week period between seasons where any weapon in the game can, it's a steady state, any weapon in the game can drop as craftable items. They all have extremely high drop rates for those people who are grinders, right? And they want to finish out their collections or whatever. You can tell your buddy, hey man, it's a good time to jump back in. All these weapons are dropping like super crazy high drop rates. You know, all the raid exotics drop with really high drop rates. You know, like I could get behind that model. It would give people a reason to jump back in and come back to Destiny and get them back on that crack train, you know.
What crack train are you talking about?
We all know that Destiny's made for addicts.
Crack addicts.
Problem solved, sir.
Here, kids, try some heroin. First taste is free.
The ship is on fire. Reporting the position of a strategic target.
Okay, shithead, Dallas. Totally didn't realize I stopped. Dude, get rid of this freaking thing.
Reporting the target position.
I love burning to death. It's so much fun.
Enemy battleship detected.
Dude, get the fuck in there and go spot some shit.
I need intelligence data.
Awesome.
So knowing that the Light and Darkness saga ends with
Yeah.
the raid,
Yeah.
you get your story conclusion for that.
Yep.
Do you think they will release an Age of Triumph type update for Destiny 2? and just
What
say,
was
okay,
Age
well,
of Triumphs? I don't know what you're talking about.
So in Destiny 1, at the end of Destiny 1, there was Age of Triumph. And Age of Triumph is like the time when they released all the raids that were outdated, they brought them up to level and released a set of really badass raid ornaments. And you would have to do the raid challenges to earn the raid ornaments. And
I mean, yeah, they'll
made
probably
them-
still continue to do some stuff like
but
that.
it was basically their final sign-off patch. The end state of Destiny 1. And they made things a lot more easier to get to level 400. They made things
Yeah, I mean, obviously the power is a little different now than what it was back then, but yeah.
Yeah. But like they basically made a final sign-off patch for Destiny 1 to be like, okay, here's the end state of Destiny 1. But I guess my point with that is, would they release an Age of Triumph type update and just leave it for a year before they release the next thing in Destiny 2? Or left it for 9 months?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Because
that's a good
if
point.
that was their plan, to say, okay, Light and Darkness Saga is over,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna chill here for 9 months, then it makes sense why they wouldn't be releasing stuff for PvP or for Gambit,
Yeah.
because there's no point to it, right?
Yeah.
And then that would give them time to do massive engine updates, to sunset things, to be having those conversations like, okay, game's really bloated. For all those who aren't into sunsetting, here's your time to call it a day, in 9 months with a big, massive new saga that is still Destiny 2, but we're going to clean house and just fucking sunset a bunch of things and start the game fresh with a new character, new vault, whatever, right?
Yeah. I think they probably will do some stuff like that. And to be pretty honest, they have content that they can continue to reintroduce back into Destiny 2. I mean, I think probably some of the hardest things about introducing content is, one, coming up with the idea of the content. So you don't even have to worry about doing that anymore. Like, the content's there for what you can.
Yeah, but like, let's say they did an update where they're like, all right, here's the deal, we're not doing PvP in Gambit. We've already told you that. That was the purpose of State of the Game. Get the shitty news out of the way first. What we are going to do is Final Shape into Light and Darkness Saga. We're going to take, these normal seasons and introduce some of the older raids every season as a send-off. Then after Light and Darkness Saga is over, everything goes bye-bye. Here's your last chance to play everything that you know is Destiny 2, and we'll see you in this point in time or whatever. We're only introducing X amount of content this year. But then they do something like, maybe make the Final Shape $60 instead of $100.
Yeah. Doubtful.
Because a lot of people, well, I mean, it's doubtful, but a lot of people would see that as a win. They'd be like, hey, cool. I'm only paying for the expansion. You know.
If this dude comes around,
But I don't know.
this,
That's doubtful though, because they've talked about other seasons past 22. So I don't know what that means. If they, yeah, that's doubtful. They'll never do that. I love it when I get my hopes up and shatter them in the same paragraph of speaking. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
The ship is on fire.
Come on, we need to burn out already. Jesus. F, man. Alright.
Problem solved, sir.
Our team depends upon you.
Oh, that's a mistake. Jesus. Yeah, they I don't know why people are so we're always like so against Destiny 3, because when you look at Destiny 2, even Destiny 2, like even Destiny 2, when they started the base part of Destiny 2, it was not meant to grow and be as large as what it is now. I mean, I don't think they had that mindset. Maybe they did, because that was all the way back when they still had Activision. They still had Activision deal for like another 2 years.
I think that
Right?
maybe there were
not really, that
a
was
few
3
people
years.
in the
That was
company
3 years.
that.
Yeah, keep going.
I think maybe there were a few people in the company that had the opinion of, we don't need to kill Destiny 1, we just need to keep expanding on it. And Activision wouldn't let that happen because of the legal contract. And
Yeah.
there are so many like coulda, woulda, shouldas in the Destiny story. I don't think it was,
straight ahead of me.
even if that's what designers wanted, I don't think the game could have supported it engine-wise. Like we're seeing what a 7-year game looks like now.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine how horrible it would have been if it was just Destiny all the way through today, and they never took a break to sunset like they did in D2 Vanilla? Like, it would be pretty bad.
But that's kind of that's kind of my point, though, is since they were kind of under there's terms and agreements of like Activision, I wonder what they, did they have the infrastructure built out behind the scenes to handle the game getting as large as what it has now? Because when you have like a 2 or 3 year lifespan, you don't worry about a 5-year lifespan and how large a game can get in a 5-year lifespan. So I don't know. I look at some of that and say, you know what? I mean, because that's kind of where they were running into an issues when you got to like year 5, and it's like, all right, game's getting a little too big, sunsetting's happening.
Have we seen them mention anything about a season 25?
Season 20. No, and they shouldn't be, because they're still on this expansion cycle, right? I mean, they don't talk 3 seasons out.
So
they talk.
Well, they do at the beginning of the yearly cycle.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes. But I mean, they're gonna go through season. What's the next one? Season 22, and then 23, and then the new expansion, season 24.
Would be 24, right? So they keep saying things like, "Hey, Cyan." They keep saying things like, "We're going to talk about Destiny 2 after the final shape." They haven't ever mentioned seasons past the final shape.
Well, they don't typically.
So, well,
not until they get to like the end of this expansion year, and getting to whatever the event is that they got coming up at the end of this month on the 22nd. Forget.
I'm trying to keep my hopes and dreams alive, man.
Dude.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean, I get it.
I really do kind of wish for them to just do a sign-off patch for a couple months and then reset everything.
Yeah.
Because they could say Destiny 2 after the final shape, and what they really mean is a steady state patch, like I was talking about.
Right.
You know?
Right. Okay. Hey man, what are you up to today, sir?
Killing shit.
You killing shit? You want to kill shit with Diet Cola? He enjoys killing stuff.
Actually getting ready to go out and work on the Jeep. But
What? Is it Jeep? Is it Jeep
Work
season?
on the Jeep.
Is it Jeep season?
Nice.
2 months past Jeep season. I've been screwing around with video games and work too much to
Video
got
games.
things done.
I would debate that. I would debate that statement, sir. I have not seen you on enough video games for you to make that bold statement.
Quite a bit. You're just playing stupid games.
No, these are mindless games. They're not stupid. I can be a zombie all I freaking want in these games.
Huh? If I take my fingers off this trigger, I die. See, I died.
Ha! Now through.
The ship is on fire.
I'm about to catch some torpedoes. Oh. Awesome. That is awesome. So glad you can go out there, Destroyer, and do absolutely freaking nothing. Are you trying to get the Jeep ready? Are you gonna go Jeeping somewhere? Or you just want to get
What's
some
ready,
work
Bill?
done on it?
Back.
Oh, we're mom-made shrimp and grits? No?
The camping kitchen will not be making Bombay shrimp and grits.
Okay, I will be right back. No, I said mom-made shrimp and grits, not Bombay shrimp and grits. I'm not fancy like that. Hell's Bombay shrimp and grits.
Jumbo shrimp
That's
and
some
grits.
real like charcuterie type speak that I don't like. Bombay shrimp and grits.
Sign, is there anything you're interested in? Like games coming up? Anything like that? I mean, you know where I'm set. Diet's trying to get me hyped for Destiny 2. The final shape.
Choo-choo, motherfucker.
Sign didn't even buy this past expansion. Like he's been checked out since Season of the Hunted. That was the last time he played that game. No,
Yeah.
See, the
The grind
therapy
model
did a
just
number
got
on a lot
old.
of us.
it brought up so many bad issues for everybody. It's like, I can't play this game anymore. It just brought up my ex-girlfriend from so many years ago. She cut
you
me
could
deep.
argue that Season of Deep is Season of Therapy 2.0. Because it's all about, like... It's all about, like, post-traumatic stress and soldiers coming back from war and all this other kind of stuff.
What was the season after Season of Therapy? Was that Season of the Pirate? Was that Season of the Pirate?
Yeah, where it was like, okay, let's be pirates now. Do pirates.
I thought that was a really neat season. I thought that was a neat season, but I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I thought it was a neat theme season.
I tried to come back.
But that was the last
back.
time Simon played, because we were in there playing King's
Yeah.
Fall.
I tried to come back when some new season started, and then I saw a clip of like neon faggots on surfboards electronically surfing through a city, and I was like, nope. I don't know. I don't even know what that was. I don't know what the story was. That's all I saw.
I think that was probably the lead-up story to
Lightfall.
Lightfall, to the expansion. That's the only thing I think of.
Reporting the position of a strategic target.
Silver Surfer.
Basically,
Alright, I'm
basically
gonna
is
go
what it
serve
was.
myself
Silver
some shrimp
Surfer.
and grits.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Shrimp and grits, man. I've never gotten on the grits train. Ooh, if that Helena burns out, that'd be great. You know what? We'll let it burn out. That looks really good. Nice. I need... The Helena is still burning somewhere. Shit. Oh, this sucks. I'm gonna take this. Don't light me on fire. Yay. So what do you say about Jeeping? You just working on it, or are you trying to go somewhere? I didn't...
No, I'm just working on it.
Oh, okay. There's something likely to break, or...
No, I'm building a kitchen in the back of the Jeep.
Oh, is
So I
that
can
what you
do,
said?
like,
Dude, I couldn't
fancy
hear you.
Camping cooking, yeah.
Between diets talking about shipping shit and grits.
Concentrate fire.
No, it's fancy Bombay, Indian style shrimp and grits.
Yeah,
Or
shit.
Bombay shrimp and grits.
Shit and grits, man. Shit and grits. I tried grits
Five
once.
waves.
I was like, no. Hell no.
Oh, you've never had proper grits? Dude.
No. Maybe I haven't, but I immediately put that shit down. I was like, I'm definitely just gonna go give me some oatmeal. That's where I was on that. I was like,
I mean, I get it. Grits are weird. But, like, a proper shrimp and grits is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
The ship is on fire.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't have shrimp and grits. I had grits.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if all you did was have grits was the same way you have oatmeal, I mean, you can make them, you know, you can do the same thing you do with oatmeal, put some brown sugar, cinnamon, all that shit in there. And it could be really good, but just plain grits versus plain oatmeal, I'd rather have plain oatmeal.
Okay. And to give you some context, this is back when I was in the military. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you had garbage grits. Next time you go to a
Military's
restaurant,
got really
there's
good food
restaurants in the
for, like,
South
that kind of
serve
stuff.
shrimp grits.
Damn piece of crap, dude.
The ship is on fire.
Piece of dog crap, man.
Concentrate fire on the designated
I'm on a beach. Shit. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, this sucks. Good.
We destroyed an enemy battleship.
I'm dead. Oh, we're gonna win that. That's good. Yeah, I need to get back up to Colorado. I'm so tired of Texas. Dude, it's been 103, 100 to like 105 for like 2 months in a row. What the hell?
And you missed out. It's been, everything here is green this year. I don't know if you've been talking to people. Everything here is green. It's been raining all the time. We've had such a summer.
Dude,
It's been one of those years that it's been a perfect year to be in Colorado.
really? It really annoys
Just to make you feel worse about it.
I appreciate that. because I mean I've definitely missed getting just getting out, man, and just enjoying it, because I mean I get Denver gets hot, you know, even in the summertime. That heat intensity is crazy, or that sun intensity, but dude, just 20 minutes or an hour away, you can get to the mountains and it'll be 20 degrees cooler, easy. I don't have that here. My 20 degrees cooler is inside the house. So it's I don't know, man. It's like, dude, like I don't know why people live down in really hot areas. And I hate it anytime I talk about moving away. My grandparents are like, but your family's here, and I was like, well, my family can suck it. So
Your family could burn.
I was like, man, I ain't about this. I like going and doing stuff. It's like I play more video games when I'm in Texas because I don't want to go outside because it's so freaking hot, and I like going outside. I don't know if I like the outdoors as much as getting a Jeep and putting in a kitchenette, but I do like the outdoors. I like doing stuff.
Yeah, did you actually look at those spoof posts that I sent you the screenshot of?
Yeah, I found their tag. I found their game.
That's how I knew it wasn't you. I was like, Shadow never sends me dollar shit. That's one of the first rules, is you don't talk about how much money you make.
Yeah, that is like one of my first rules.
I made $67,000, and I made them. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem like your style.
No, definitely was not my style.
Although I was super happy for you for making $67,000
Me
in one day.
too. I was like, oh man, that pay some taxes right there. What's going on, everything Gucci? What's going on, man? Hey, bro, from New Zealand. What are your thoughts of the ROG Ally being able to play Starfield? The ROG Ally. I saw that. So I don't play on PC. I know that's not really a PC. That's more of a handheld device. But I'm very interested, actually, in that. I did see that here recently. Kind of like a Steam Deck, but you know, obviously not a Steam Deck. I'm very interested in that because I do like
Problem solved, sir.
the idea of the Steam Deck, and I don't know. I mean, I don't really know the exact specific differences between Steam Deck and the ROG, but I am very interested in probably checking one out and using those while I travel. Rather than having to take along, you know, an Xbox Series S or some equivalent to that, or using cloud gaming, because, you know, cloud gaming's good and all, but we know there's going to be some issues there. And I need to about face here. But yeah, the ROG Ally. I need to look more into that, because maybe I'll make a video about that. Because yeah, I think I did see the Steam Deck will not be able to play. Are you freaking kidding me? Which one of you shitheads is pelting me? Boom. Get him. Having the flexibility to use that. I mean, people are on the go. People travel. People, you know, even, you know, game a little bit while you're commuting to and from work. It's not a bad thing.
You need a self-driving Cybertruck and a Steam Deck, and you can just screw around back and forth to work every day.
I did not mean to hit that button. Yeah, exactly. Dude, the robo-taxis, man, they're gonna take off. I don't need no damn Cybertruck. I mean, I am very much ready for robo cars.
Problem solved, sir.
So I rode in one of those in Phoenix. They've got a bunch of the
robo
higher-end
taxis
ones in downtown. Yeah, in downtown Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I've got a few friends who have Teslas with self-driving and self-parking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that Tesla is like Well, it reminds me of when I taught my 15-year-old cousin to drive, and it was like,
Oh,
completely unsure, completely unsteady. The robo-taxis in downtown Phoenix, you would have thought there was a human being driving them. Night and day difference between Tesla self-driving. Yeah.
really? The smoothness matters, huh?
Well, it's the confidence. I mean, the Tesla self-driving is so unsure of itself. It just, you know.
Or
it's the same thing,
is it
you know,
unsure of
when
itself,
you
or
have a
does it come up with new information and say, hey, okay, you got to adjust for this new information on the dime?
I don't know. It's the way that I feel about it is the same way that I feel about a human driver. I'm driving around with somebody who's like accelerating and then braking and accelerating and then braking and then
Right.
stopping and looking around. I'm like, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Everything Gucci, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Steam Deck won't be able to, which is kind of, I mean, it's a bummer, you know, lack of flexibility. But yeah, appreciate the love on the Starfield news. Yeah, dude, I just like, I told my mom, I took my mom to lunch the other day, and I just told her, man, I'm so ready to not be able to drive really, like, ever again. I'm just like, I'm ready for the robo cars. That sucks. Oh, turn, you son of a bitch. I didn't take that shot. Oh, sweetie turned. Excellent. There's a King George. How's Lisa been doing?
All right, she got COVID for the first time
Good.
last week and
How did she
knocked her
feel?
on her ass. It's fine now.
She had the vaccines.
Oh yeah.
Y'all believe
Yeah,
in
it was just
vaccines that work? That's freaking ridiculous. Anti-vaxxer for the win, bud.
It was just a 9-day, really bad cold for her.
That's nice. That's
Texas
good.
redneck piece of garbage.
Did you call her a redneck piece of garbage?
No, I called you a redneck piece of garbage.
That's what I said. Dude, I don't know if I told you. Not this past Christmas, but Christmas before, Christmas of December of 2021, I got COVID like 3 days before Christmas. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh yeah. So, you know, family gonna come down. You know, we're gonna, you know, do all the normal family stuff. Well, family cancels plans because, well, you know, everybody doesn't want to get
Go
COVID.
grandma.
Yeah, so we had COVID on MLK weekend, or we didn't. We had COVID on MLK. We had Christmas on MLK weekend. So yeah, that was fun. I was like, oh man, y'all canceled Christmas just for me? Thanks so much.
Enemy battleship sunk.
Kill grandma. That's the trick.
Yeah. Kind of sucked, because, you know, I did have COVID over Christmas, but I was like, if I get to play video games, over Christmas. I was like, cool, everybody. I got to be isolated back in my cave, and everybody got to leave me alone. Yeah, I was just kind of, I started feeling bad one night, but basically the next day I had like cold chills, fever. Like I was sweating, and I was outside. You know, I mean, it's winter time. It's not 104. It's like 60 degrees. It was a nice day. I was just standing outside, but I was just sweating, and I wasn't like a little bit of sweat. Like I was sweating, like I was running, sweating. I was like, good gosh, this sucks. And yeah, I mean that was pretty much all I had. And then I was just kind of isolated there for the next like week and a half. I was glad that's all I had, but you know that was after I had vaccines and stuff. And you know there was that new strand that was going around at the beginning of last year that everybody's like, oh man, this strand's super contagious. I actually think I got that one because it was shortly after I actually got my vaccines. I had got my vaccines in August, so 4 months later then I got that strand. I think that's the strand I got. Are you kidding me? Ugh. I am... Dude, this guy went to go get shrimp and grits, and this guy's been gone for a while. How long is this going to take? 18 hours, damn. I need to play with the Hawkins. Omaha and Hawkins, got it. Alright. Well, so we talked the other.
I'm back.
Oh, there he is. He heard me talking about him.
Explain to Shadow the difference between a proper shrimp and grits and like
Grits.
shitty instant grits that you would have instead of oatmeal.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, dude. Okay, so I'm trying to think of the.
Let me tell you something, man. If I go have
It's
shrimp
like
and grits,
it's like
and
the
they
difference
suck,
in
I'm gonna be
quality
very mad.
between. No, it's like the difference in quality between a shitty Wendy's quarter pounder versus going to like a gourmet hamburger restaurant and eating a really nice Kobe beef burger. They're both burgers, but
I like Wendy's.
one is just made with more care.
Okay.
Like,
I get it.
yeah,
I'll,
so like a really good shrimp and grits, you cook them low and slow for like hours, low and slow, and
I'll
you
give
add
it that.
in like
I was telling Sion because I've had grits, but it was while I was in the military, and it wasn't shrimp and grits. It was just grits, and
well, it's
so
if you don't like grits in general, you're probably not gonna like shrimp.
that was the
and
only time I
grits.
had grits. So it's like that was my.
But it's
my
also,
take
I
on
mean,
grits.
to use your burger analogy, it's also like going and getting a McDonald's hamburger and putting some ketchup and mustard on it versus going to get a gourmet hamburger where they put some avocado and bacon and some aioli and you have
and
shrimp and grits. It's usually seasoned really well and
it's seasoned. There's like some sauce on it that's like sometimes a spicy gravy they'll put on it, and they'll have like some onions and stuff chopped up into it. They may have some. Everybody does shrimp and grits different. I've never found restaurants that like do it the same as other restaurants. It's always served differently at every place that I go.
Yeah.
But the one thing they usually have in common is the grits are really soft and creamy, and it's usually served like on a bed of grits or in a bowl with like the shrimp served sort of as a topping. But sometimes they'll have the shrimp like mixed into the grits itself, although that's rare because usually they cook them separately. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Well, don't expect me to go looking for a place that serves shrimp and grits, but
It's actually really hard to look for them. Like, you have to just sort of know what places serve them.
yeah.
You can't be like shrimp
I've
and
seen it
grits
on a lot
restaurant
of
on the
menus
internet.
recently. It's pretty becoming a trendy thing, or has been a
Shrimp
trendy
and
thing
grits?
for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it at a lot of higher-end restaurants.
I pay attention to the wrong food channels, I guess.
Especially places that tend to say they serve comfort food or southern food.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
The ship is on fire.
Like, they may not have one other southern thing on their menu, but they might have shrimp and grits. And it's weird. It's very hit or miss.
Ooh, let's see, can I split these dudes? Oh no, bitch. You're gonna be mine now.
We sunk an enemy destroyer.
No, you got me. Ooh,
We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly.
die! Die, caramba. Oh well, get the last destroyer. That worked.
World of Warships is such an unrealistic game.
Dude, I want you to understand the statement that you just said in game. Unrealistic game. You should never put those two words in the same sentence.
Yes, but for a game that prides itself on its realism, it's very unrealistic.
Okay. I wouldn't say they pride themselves on realism, but
They do. They're like, we've taken all these warships straight out of real life and put them into a video game, and
not really.
you know, blah blah blah.
No. A lot of these are like blueprints. Like a lot of same thing in World of Tanks. A lot of them were just blueprints. They were never actually made.
My burden is too great.
Dad, I'm sort of getting used to this build that Riptide, is that who helped me out? last
Yeah,
night?
Riptide.
Yeah. I like the, now that I'm getting used to using the trap, like run in, drop a trap, run out, fuck people up from a distance.
Mm.
I am getting the hang of that, and I kind of like it. So,
Daryl Rivas, Zach Thomas, and Joe Thomas, all enshrined in the Hall of Fame. All right, what we got here? Dude, you talking food, man? I'm getting hungry now. I'm just starting to get the hunger bug.
Dude, it smelled so good. There was so much like creamy goodness in the grits, and it was delicious. Just delicious.
Action stations.
Because grits is basically like oatmeal, but corn instead of like wheat.
It's got a different texture, right? Like
Oh yeah.
oatmeal is. Yeah,
Yes,
oatmeal
conceptually, they're the same thing.
Yeah, but that's like saying that gruel is the same as oatmeal. Conceptually, they might be, but they taste way different. Like,
The heck is gruel? Sounds like
or
drool.
cream
from a girl.
of wheat. Cream of wheat is way different than oatmeal or grits. You know, like it's.
Yeah, but they're all in the same category of carby, grassy thing that you add water to.
There you go.
Yeah, but
Thank
see,
you.
a lot of people. Okay, so a lot of people don't even make oatmeal with water. A lot of people make oatmeal with milk.
No, I wouldn't say a lot of people. We just found out that diet's he's worth a lot of money.
Well, no, in a lot of other countries, it's made with milk as opposed to water.
Only rich people make oatmeal with milk.
Got
So
him.
bougie.
So bougie. Diet, you're not wrong. And I would say the consistency with milk over water is a lot better.
The ship is on fire.
Okay, put on some shoes before you start to clean it up.
You don't tell me what to do. You're not my
Bringing the
dad.
smackdown.
And when they break, they can be really sharp shards.
Were they breaking?
Pyrex bowl.
They're
I keep seeing videos on the internet of people cooking with Pyrex bowls on the top of stoves, using it like a saucepan, and then they
The
explode.
ship is on fire.
Like, yeah.
All right.
That's-
I came across a video that's kind of explaining this. What it is there's Pyrex the brand, and then there's Pyrex the technology. And Pyrex the brand owns the technology, and they licensed it out a couple of years ago. So now there's a lot of these other companies making different like glassware with Pyrex the technology, but it's not the same stuff. For
But
whatever
the point is,
reason.
you're not supposed to use them like a saucepan. You
They're
bake
never,
in them.
none of them are. Yeah.
Like, you don't expose them to direct heat. They withstand temperature, but it's not like a, hey, put it right on top of the burner and bake in it. Yeah. It's like for baking. Or for, doing a lasagna where you're sliding in the oven.
I got one. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of that just comes down to a lack of education, though. Because back in, freaking, I want to say back 20 years ago, or in the 70s when Pyrex first came out, there was a lot less fast food. So even bums who stayed at home all day had to know how to cook and make food for themselves, right? There wasn't DoorDash all the time. So now there's an entire generation of people my age who have no idea how to cook
So you know what's kind of
because
funny?
their parents just order fast food.
You were not
all
wrong.
the time.
And I've kind of thought about if I build a home, I'm gonna have a really small kitchen because I'm just gonna have a microwave.
You don't want that though. You don't want that limitation.
It's funny, I don't disagree with that because, like, we've got a normal, well, we don't have a huge kitchen, but you've seen our kitchen, it's
Yep.
normal size.
Yep.
But we never use our oven.
Yep.
We use, because there's just the two of us, we use that oversized toaster oven because it heats up quicker and cooks
yeah.
quicker and
That's what I prefer to use
just sits
too.
right there on the counter.
Yeah, I prefer to use something like that too. What are they like? Invection ovens or whatever they're called.
It's just a countertop toaster oven.
Autopilot mode enabled.
Now, granted, if you got a family, you want to have 20 people over for Thanksgiving, that's a whole different world. It's just
It requires
one or two
it
people.
requires planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would also, like, so there's a little bit of that too, right? Like, where you are in life. Like, if you're that person that, you know, hosts Thanksgiving every year, no, not at all. If you're the people like me, they're like, yeah, my family never comes over to our house because there's always somebody else that's cooking, and always, like, freaking favoritism and shit like that going on. Like, my family's just, as a whole, is never going to gather at my house, my extended family. So it's just us and the kids. And, like, you know, maybe when our kids have kids, we'll have family gatherings at our house, but short of that, it ain't happening. So, yeah, it's just, it depends. we like to cook and to bake as they
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
That's crap. I should have got out of there.
Well, I should rephrase that. I like to cook and to bake. I like to eat. I very rarely do the baking though, because, like,
You
I
got
have
daughters
kids and
that
a wife
do
to
all
bake.
that stuff.
Based on playing video games with you over the last 5 years, I'm pretty sure that you just have food brought to you 24/7.
Yeah, no shit.
you
Don't
know,
lie.
it's not that way to live.
Hang on. My daughter just brought me some cookies. Hang on. My wife just called me down for food.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some sugar grits.
You're not wrong. Definitely not wrong.
He's like drunk Dan.
But I do go off to make stuff myself sometimes. Like, it's rare, but it does happen.
Oh, dude, that is funny. Simon, where are you traveling to coming up? You're always going somewhere.
I'm gonna be in Oklahoma in a week. I'll be in Australia the week after that.
Oh, that's right. Australia.
Yeah, I'm bummed that wasn't Stealthy who was it that lives in Oklahoma and doesn't play anymore?
Stealthy.
Stealthy.
Stealthy. It is Stealthy. Yeah, is he ever around anymore? He's the one that's ignoring everybody's texts or messages, right?
No, he's not ignoring everybody. He is
He's ignoring you.
not
Ignoring
responding to
time.
me. And I'm not even saying he's ignoring me. I'm saying he's not responding to me. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, because I'm finally going to be over there, and I was going to see if you wanted to go have a drink, but
Dude, he'd probably be
Yes.
over that.
Yeah, he probably would be. I don't know how busy he is or anything.
Everything gets busier when you're a single dad, dude. Especially
last time I
at the
talked to
age
him,
that his kid is at.
Yeah, I would say it's his kid's getting to that age where he's like going to be a little bit more active in sports and different stuff.
He's doing dad things.
yeah.
He's giving his
Well, the
kid the
last
same
time-
advice his dad gave him, just don't be gay.
The last time I talked to him, he was driving like 45 minutes in and out of the town,
Yeah, he is.
which
Yeah,
makes
I
it
don't
really
think
hard
he's
to be
doing
like, hey, why don't you just meet me downtown for a drink if you've got a kid and a 45 minute each direction.
A piece of dog ass crap.
Oh, the butcher is whooping my ass.
Yeah, it's his job.
You know the problem with a ranged character? It's when the butcher shows up and gets all up in your face in melee.
Oh, you're saying I should have kept my melee barbarian for the butcher? That would have been a good time to keep him.
I mean, so there's trade-offs both ways, right? There are definitely enemies that are better to engage from range, and there are definitely enemies that are better to engage from melee. In fact, some of them are immune unless you're in their little circle. So, like, both playstyles have their advantages. I like that both playstyles have their disadvantages.
Yeah.
Although there is no
It's supposed to
Destiny
drop
style.
some badass heart.
No, those are the heart enemies. When you and you don't know which ones are the heart enemies, so you kill them, and then they drop a malignant heart thing, and then you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna summon it. You summon them, they come back to life, and you kill them again, and that's when you get the caged heart.
I thought there was a special butcher heart that I was reading in somebody's build the other day that was
The barber, like the barber heart.
Dead.
Enemy battleships.
Awesome. Ugh. I don't know what I'm gonna do for lunch. Someone's talking about a really nice burger. Sounds good.
Dude, I'm a sucker for a good burger restaurant. All these people are like, yo, let's go eat Thai. I'm like, nah, dude, give me a good hamburger.
Yeah.
Give me some pizza.
Good.
Some nice Italian.
Burgers, you know, those are kind of hard to beat.
All these bougie places are like, pay $100 a plate and fucking give you 3 ounces of food. I'm not into that.
Our team has taken the lead.
That's because you're from the South. We're down for like $10 plates that give you like $20 worth of food. Tore my craft up.
Turn the got you to the pedestal. Baldur's Gate time.
Are you playing Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, didn't you see the videos I posted?
Oh, was that
You should
you
talk
actually
about
paying
that
them?
on your live stream.
Playing them?
Yes, that was
Yes.
me taking a video of
Oh.
my laptop.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He's like, I want to share my sexuality with the world and post it into Discord. He's like, I'm coming out as a night elf mohawk character.
Did you give your character the hammer?
The hammer.
Yes.
Did you give, did you give him the brick? Is he brick? Is he a brick? I wonder if Sion knows what brick means.
No, God, you're such a boomer. You're all bricked up. You say, I'm all bricked up.
Oh yeah, bricked up. That's right, bricked up. My bad. Say Diane.
This is why you need teenagers in your life.
I don't need teenagers in
keep
my
it relevant.
I don't need teenagers.
It's like learning a foreign language. You gotta practice with it or else
No.
it just sounds bad.
No,
Nobody will understand you if you
no.
practice.
They came along, and because they didn't understand the language they were speaking, they had to make up shit.
Dude, I seriously wish in a lot of ways
Yeah.
that our language, not the world, but our language reverted back to like Charles Dickens time frame, because they were so eloquent, and they had a word for everything, and it was like,
Yeah.
you know, oh, it doesn't mean this, it means that. and there was an exact meaning behind every word. And nowadays, if you try and use the exact meaning behind every word, people are just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And you have to dumb it down for them. Be like, have you never read a book? Here's what this means.
Wow. That goes with insults if someone doesn't know what something means.
No, I'm not talking about the super obscure stuff. I'm talking about like a great obscure is a great example. How many people nowadays do you think know what the word obscure means?
Diane, I don't know what
I
the
would
word
say-
obscure means.
Zion, do you know what the word obscure means?
That you have a big
I bet
penis.
you do. No. No.
All
That means
bricked
you're all bricked up.
It means I'm all bricked up.
Yeah, you're brick hard. That's what that means. No, but like seriously, probably I'd say a good 60% of the people under the age of 35 don't know what the word obscure means.
Under the age of 65.
Let's give them a hard time.
No, 65-year-olds will use obscure in a sentence.
Let me call my dad. I'm about to get educated, everybody.
Action stations.
Do you really not know what obscure means?
Dude, I'm an uncultured redneck. I've been told that many times.
By me.
Yeah, by you.
Obscure means like it's rare or it's very
Ooh.
it's a reference that people don't get. It's obscure. It's an obscure text.
Diet.
It's a
Literally saying the word does not give me the definition.
Thank you. I was just about to say that.
Good God. It's like
using
speaking
it
a
in
foreign
a
language.
sentence.
Just because you
No, I was
just because
I
you
was
speak it
using
slower
in a
doesn't
sentence to figure out if you got content clues.
Diet, I looked up the definition. Your definition's wrong. It means not discovered or
Okay.
known about. Uncertain.
Yeah.
Keep from being seen or concealed. Yeah. That's so obscure. I knew the verb side, the adjective side. I didn't know that. I didn't know you can kind of go both ways. I did more knew that it was like could be hidden, kind of concealed. Yeah. Anyways, whatever.
All stations. Enemy destroyer detected. Strategic
We're not. It's not an English learning live stream. Unless you're from France, then maybe it is.
You know, maybe you could make a really good like video game ESL channel. You know, hey guys, we're gonna learn English through video
ESL.
games. English is the second language.
BDM.
Hey guys,
Are you
we're
talking
gonna
about
learn
BDM
English through
stuff?
video games. When these rednecks who are cultists in Far Cry say this is what they mean. Don't be like these rednecks
Don't be like
in
that.
Montana.
Don't be like that.
That was the one in Montana where they had like the religious cult or whatever. Was that Far Cry 5 or was that Far Cry 4? I think it was 5.
Well, there's been a couple. But yes, the one where it's up in Montana, that's a fantastic story. Like I'm not a big fan of the Far Cry series, but I loved that one.
Well, and that was one where that was the first one where it wasn't like some fictional Latin American country, like it was an actual place.
Yeah.
And it was in the US.
And it was like shit that could actually happen.
I heard something the other day and I was like, you know, I had never really thought about it like that before, but maybe. This guy said that
I'm getting
Donald Trump has a literal cult. Like the hardcore Trumpists that believe no matter what he says, it's legit a cult. And I was like, you know, I haven't ever thought of the Trumpists like a cult before, but I could see it. I could definitely see it meeting the classic definition of a cult.
Yeah,
not political.
idiots. Yeah, you got idiots that believe that drink the Kool-Aid.
That believe no matter what the facts say, they're like, no, I believe.
I believe it.
That's the definition of the cult.
You know what's funny?
They suck you in and they don't let you go.
Diet.
Yep. That's the definition of a cult.
Diet. I hate. Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Religions are also fall under the definition of a cult.
I think certain ones do. I think it depends on which one you're talking about.
Not mine. But
so, when I think of a cult, I think of
there it is.
a group of people or a belief system you cannot escape. Right?
Here's my definition of a cult versus religion. The only difference is the guy who started it's dead.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
So let's test your theory.
Okay.
Okay. This is getting into really dangerous territory because this is recent history. Joseph Smith with the Mormons. When he started Mormonism, you're saying it was a cult. But the moment he passed, it became a religion. That's what you're saying?
Uh-huh.
Are you talking about Jesus Christ back in the day was a cult, but now it's a religion?
Huh?
It's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah, it's pretty.
The reason why I have that perspective is because
I think it's a pretty good, very basic,
example
simple.
that you gave a second ago is you were saying that the Trumpsters are a cult. I would agree with that because they blindly follow a man who is actively leading them and deceiving them, whereas.
Oh my God.
Once Trump dies, MAGA will become
so in
religion.
25 years, we're gonna get this new Trump-topian book.
Trump could literally die tomorrow, right? Like, So would you say that a cult, to be a cult, it requires an aspect of deception or malintent?
I wouldn't use either one of those. I'd call it absolute narcissism.
Would you say that a cult most often contains deception and malintent?
Again, I don't.
Okay.
Malintent means that somebody set out to do something horrible. And I don't actually think, just hear me out, I don't actually think human beings work that way. I don't think human beings set out to say, I'm going to be, you know, like using D&D as an example, I'm going to be chaotic evil and now I have to do evil things because I've chosen to be evil. Like, nobody's brain works that way.
There was this one guy named Hitler.
Things that are selfish.
I was thinking more along the lines of recent history, David Koresh in Texas, to bring it back to Shadow.
You're talking about Temple, Texas?
You know,
or Waco?
Waco.
Yeah.
Waco, yeah.
Well, Waco and Temple are pretty close to each other. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, did he start out with malintent? I mean, anytime you start saying, hey, man, give me your wife, you got to pay the dues to live here.
Hey.
You know, hey, man, I don't want to go down legally, so we're all going to drink the Kool-Aid.
Your wife has to be a 7 or better, by the way.
They did that? Yeah, yeah. Oh, you want to live in my compound for the end of days? Hey, man, there's taxes associated with that. Oh, you don't have any money because
Okay.
you've been living in my compound?
Well,
Gotta pay up somehow.
let me ask you something, Scion. Is global warming people or climate activists, are they cultists?
Is somebody deceiving them?
I would say that does not fall under the definition of cultist
Okay.
because it doesn't necessarily
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
They do.
I think most cultists have an association of some form of religious belief.
The reason why I say that is they do things that do disrupt and damage property. So, not saying it's good or bad. I'm not trying to get in an argument if the whole global warming thing, but it is just,
So by science definition, the cult of Mac is now a religion.
Cult of Mac. Oh,
Yes, and I know plenty of them that are Apple fanboys. Yes,
It's a religion because Steve Jobs is dead.
yes. I would agree with that.
Smoke generator started. Enemy battleship sighted. Smoke screen set.
Back to gaming.
what?
Will all of this shit that I collect in the season of the whatever we're in right now stick around? Skins are now going to be a permanent part of my
I
collection.
wanna hear what they have to say about that. One way to test it is could you apply a seasonal skin to your eternal character?
Our team has taken the lead.
Because the way that it's worked in Diablo games in the past is at the end of the season, your character transfers to the Eternal Realm, but how much of your character transfers to the Eternal Realm, I don't know.
Is in sight.
Like, is it how much stat space do you get when you
This would be perfect.
transfer that character, right? Like, is it just the things the character has on them, or is it like all the stuff? How much of the seasonal codex transfers? Like things that are codex aspects right now that were not codex aspects in the
What's going on,
Eternal
Jose?
Realm.
Yeah.
Do they transfer over to the Eternal Realm and become codex
How you
aspects?
doing, Jose?
I don't know.
I'm trying to get
A good
everybody hyped
example
for
of that would be
Starfield now.
like the shockwave aspect for the druid.
Mm-hmm.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
I'm gonna smoke this New York.
So Cyan, apparently last
You
night,
might get me back.
ShadowBadass did not like our over-under game.
What?
Well, let's play
I did
somewhere.
not say
And
that.
I told him he felt targeted. And I told him, well, I was expecting him to turn the tables on me and for him to start playing the over-under game against me, but he never did. He's like, well, let's play it now. I was like, no, but we need a third-party independent judge to be the person that
yeah,
calls the
yeah.
over or under.
You know, I've
So-
recorded this live stream, and that is not how that went down. But
Well, did Cyan believes that's how it went down? That's the only way that matters.
no,
So if
Oh,
you
I'm
have
the
any-
third party now.
Yes. Well, last night you were the third party calling over or under on Shadow. So if you have any over/under questions for Cyan Shadow, you should
Victory is in sight.
let him know
Oh,
now.
what a fucking crap. Damn, I missed
What
all
do you mean?
those.
This morning in your live stream, you're like, "Hey man, we should, we'll play over/under right now." I was like, "Okay." Beat Cyan
Did
in here.
not say that.
Well, couldn't you do over/under with the live stream and see what people put in the chat?
Yeah, I gotta be more popular.
You could.
You think I am Astrocross?
You should just come up with a list of Starfield questions right now for the chat. Be like, over/under. Is this gonna 30% probability that this will happen? 30% probability
Dad,
that
I'm
there's
not
no way in
creative.
hell?
I'm not creative like that. You know that. I'm a stickler. I'm straight and narrow.
All right, Mr. Straight and Narrow. Let me give you a couple questions for Starfield, and
Why don't you make up some crap? Yeah, there you go.
and you
Do
can call over/under, and then we'll see if Chad agrees with you. Okay.
All right, do it.
All right. Over/under 30% over, meaning that this will definitely happen. 30% under, meaning there's no way in hell it's gonna happen.
50%.
Or we'll say the last 30%
Go.
is a maybe,
Ask the
a solid
question.
maybe.
Ask the question.
All right. One,
You're making too many.
Starfield releases and is an incredible game with no flaws. Over or under?
Starfield releases will have no flaws.
Incredible game right out the gate. Very few player complaints. No launch issues. No flaws.
I think so. I think that will happen. There will be bugs, but I don't think it will detract from the main experience.
See, I think you're batshit crazy because the amount of Bethesda jank that has come in the past with games. Like the fact that Bethesda jank is a term should tell you about their quality control.
No. I mean, I get that, but one of the Xbox VPs even said that this is going to be the least buggy Bethesda game ever at launch.
One of the Xbox VPs also promised that it would be 60 frames a second. And then Todd Howard's like, nah, dog.
Well, it is going to be
out.
60 frames per second.
No, the question was specifically asked, is it going to be 60 FPS on the Xbox Series X?
Yeah, it was asked that, but but it is one of those. It's like, hey, you know what? Maybe he messed up on what he was talking about, because it happens. It happens. No, it happens. It happens.
Okay, all right. Video replay. We'll watch it later. Okay. All right. Over/under. Next question.
Oh my God.
Starfield releases and has extended player base time because it's a very solid product. Like, has its issues, very solid product.
Yeah.
Over/under.
Oh yeah. I mean, are people going to play this like they do for Destiny, like just years straight? I don't think. I mean, I don't think so. But are people going to definitely see like they're going to pick it up constantly? Yeah.
Let's phrase this a different way. Over/under. Starfield releases and people have more playtime in it than they do Outriders or Redfall on average.
Outriders or Redfall?
Yeah, like they log more hours than they did in either Outriders or Redfall. Like it gets a stronger initial burst than those games did, because both those games had very strong initial launches and then immediate fall offs as people realized what the game actually was.
Well, so Outriders dropped off because people kept, once people got to the end game, and they kept dropping out of expeditions. That was the problem.
And Redfall had a lot of technical bugs and multiplayer progress issues, right? But the point is they had very strong launch windows, a lot of hype behind them, and then people just immediately dropped the game.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. All that. It was kind of funny with Redfall. there really wasn't much talk about Redfall or looking forward to Redfall until Starfield was shown off last year, the Starfield reveal, and then for whatever reason, you started to see this other game that was coming out of Bethesda, and so it was like I had no expectations for Redfall at all, but when it started to get traction with people, I think what really got Redfall a lot of hype was a lot of people were looking at Starfield, and I think they kind of got a little bit of that hype to come along with it. That's just my opinion on it. I like the idea of what Redfall was trying to be, but
okay, but over or under 50% that the game has an immediate fall off.
I think under. Oh yeah, I think under.
Okay, so and by immediate fall off, I mean like 3-week window.
I think under. Yeah, I still think under. See, that's a tough answer though, because wow, what other games are out? What other games are going to be coming out? I still think under. I don't think there's any other major games that are going to be coming out for like that month after. Baldur's Gate 3 is also kind of in that same launch window on PlayStation, but PlayStation players aren't going to be playing Starfield, so unless you got multiple consoles, yeah, I still say under. I'll say under. I don't think there's anything really coming after that, and there's even been other games that have moved their launch date either forward a month or back a month to not be within that Starfield launch window. Baldur's Gate 3 is actually the only one that actually moved their launch back to line up with Starfield's, which was kind of an interesting move.
Over under 50% chance that players immediately start building their ships into penis configurations.
Oh, that's happening, guaranteed right away. I am gonna go the other route. I'm gonna make a vagina. Vagina. Penis. Yep, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have the biggest clitoris flying through the space.
Over or under 50% chance that you can't actually make a vault full of sandwiches.
Oh yeah, they've already demoed it off. People, yeah, you'll be able to do that.
Do you think it was just a marketing gimmick, or because somebody's gonna be out there trying it, like, yo, I just want to pirate only the sandwiches.
Oh yeah, people are gonna be able to do that.
I can make.
Yeah, they'll be able to do that. Like, you're not gonna show that off and not be able to allow people to do that. My question is what other kind of things, like, are you gonna be able to, like mugs? There's mugs around that you can see. Like, are you gonna be able to pick those up and throw those in your little storage areas? I'm just curious, like, all the other things that you'll be able to do, like they showed off with the sandwiches. I thought that was pretty cool. So I wonder if, like, all the other items you'll be able to do with that. Do you like that? Yeah, Jose, as far as like Starfield having not having a playable demo, yeah, not really worried about that. Not every game needs to have that.
Well, with some games, how would you limit the demo in a way that wouldn't basically give you the entire game?
Yeah.
Give you all the mechanics of the game, right? Without hiding anything. Maybe you could do some sort of playable first level, but...
Yeah, and that's why a lot of games, like, if they even have demos, they've kind of moved just to, like, hey, here you get 10 hours of game time. Or, something like that. 5 hours of game time. An hour of game time. Whatever. Which, I don't even know if... From what we've heard, like, an hour of game time in Starfield is literally nothing.
Okay,
Or Ryan
here's
McCaffrey.
another one for you.
Yeah.
Here's another one for you. Over or under.
The ship is on fire.
The average player will get further than 50 hours deep into the game.
Sir.
Ooh. Are we taking all players and averages? Oh, dude, like we're not gonna know that answer
all
for
players.
like years. Like we have no idea.
Well, no, just ballpark it. Do you think that most
hours.
players...
Dude,
Yeah, 50 hours.
Yeah, I mean, that's most people are going to play 10 to 20 hours a week, and if they play the game for 2 or 3 weeks, then they're going to get 50 hours into the game. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer.
But the
Sure.
So
but
the part I'm
implying
going to
that
say
they
though
like the gameplay.
is even
Because
if
a lot of people...
so the part that I'm going to say is even if people just put in 10 hours, and then like that's where a majority of people just kind of stop playing the game, but then you get the hardcore that put in hundreds of hours, which you know people are going to put in hundreds to thousands of hours.
Okay, I'm not talking about the averages of all the players.
That's,
because
no,
that's a
but
very
that's
different
what
number than like.
That's what you're
your-
saying. That's,
Well, let's say it a different way then. Will the bulk of the player base get to 50 hours?
well, over 50% of the players get to 50 hours. That's a good question. That's a good one. Honestly, I don't think so. I want to say yes, but it's hard to really kind of say that.
It's really interesting to me because a lot of games nowadays, you're hitting 50 hours and you're barely breaking into the game. Like, you almost haven't even given the game a good shot if you haven't played 50 hours because you haven't unlocked a lot of core mechanics and features yet,
Yeah.
right? But a lot of players have a super short attention span, so if they don't like it, they'll play it 5 hours, quit it, go move on to the next Game Pass game.
Yeah, dude, that is. I mean, it's a tough one because you're requiring a lot of people, a good chunk of the people, which you're already going to get a huge amount of people playing the game just because it's so hyped and it's going to come out free on Game Pass. Not free. It's going to come out on Game Pass. And so, is that like all the people that are not really interested in Starfield, but they're hearing all the hype, they're going to give it a shot. So I mean, how does that play into how many people wind up playing the game? That's a good question. I don't know. Jose, you said a guy said in a podcast that he talked to the person that is playing the game early, and what he said let him more hyped. What he said
Critical engine damage.
let him more hyped. I think the game won't have many bugs. Then SMO just said I'm hyped for Starfield so much, but hi. Hey, hello, welcome. Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's gonna be bugs. We know there's gonna be bugs. I don't think there will be anything game breaking though, Diet. That I think Starfield probably will make. I think a lot of people probably will make a run to
Main turret critically
that 50-hour mark that you're talking about. I
The ship is
think.
on fire.
Not to say that'll be an easy mark for Starfield to obtain, but I think that's, man, it's such a good question, man, because it really just depends on how many people are going to wind up playing the game, because Starfield's getting quite a bit of hype, and it's going to be on Game Pass, because there's a lot of people on Game Pass that they probably don't care enough about Starfield, and they're not following it as much as others, but they hear the gaming community talk about it. Like that's just the way the gaming community works. You hear about games that people are really hyped for, even if you're interested or not, because that's what happens in the gaming community. Ooh, I'm about to get freaking wrecked.
Over or under? Over or under 50%. Game Pass users specifically
The ship is on fire.
will play Starfield and then just go back to Power Wash Simulator.
Hold on. You said hold on. You said what? Say that again.
Over under. Game Pass users specifically will play Starfield, not like it, and go back to Power Wash Simulator.
Power Wash Simulator, dude. That's funny. No, that ain't happening.
Dude, you'd be surprised how many Game
I
Pass users
know.
just do the farming simulators, the trucking simulators, the power wash simulators, any sort of simulator type game on Game Pass.
And I get the power washing simulator because it's kind of relaxing. Because I know people that like power washing in real life, and it is kind of relaxing to do. But yeah, dude, that's a power washing simulator. I'll be pretty honest.
Specifically because I've heard people talk about it being very therapeutic and liking it.
Yeah. I do think people are going to be they're going to put more time in Starfield than what they realize. And I think a lot of that has to do with kind of, what's the best way to put this? How long not how long it takes to accomplish certain things, but for the vast variety of things there is to do, and kind of, you know, going around doing different things. I think when you kind of look and how long it takes to put in time into the game, I think people will put in more time than what they realize and be like, holy shit. Like, I think it'll make days go by really quick. Your gameplay sessions will go by really quick. That's just kind of my take. And I think that's what will probably get a lot of player time added up relatively fast in Starfield.
Over or under, Starfield will cause real-life relationship issues.
It depends on your depends on your relationship. Meaning,
you're not paying enough attention
if you haven't
to me,
set the expectations and boundaries. Well, we've already know that. There was a comedian last year, right? There was a comedian or a movie actor last year who separated from his girlfriend in anticipation for Starfield. And that was before. I think that was before they delayed Starfield. I think it was before they delayed Starfield. Maybe that wasn't before they. I don't think that was before they delayed Starfield. No.
All I gotta say is that guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. But yeah, what it was that was back when Starfield was expected to come out in the first half of this year. That was before they delayed it to obviously September.
The man was looking for an excuse and use a video game to do it. That's
dude, how bad do you gotta feel like you got turned down because of video game launch? Like you got it's different when you get broke up for another person, but when you get broke up for a video game, damn, that's cold. That's rough. I wouldn't put that on the resume. I would like when you go to your next.
Here's a
you
great example.
go to your
All
next.
I know is that Joe Manganiello picked his Dungeons and Dragons basement over Sofia Vergara. So you know that's a thing.
Who did that? Who did that sign?
Joe Manganiello.
What an idiot!
All
what an idiot. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Over or under. Over or under. It's better to be dumped for a video game than it is to be dumped but for someone who's the opposite sex as you. AKA
they found out they were gay.
I'm just gay now. or vice
I don't think
versa,
that would be bad. Like, but if it's a trend that the people that you wind up dating, they wind up becoming gay. Like if it's like, oh yeah, You turn like
That would
3
have to
people
be,
gay in a
like,
row.
what's-
Like there's something. All right, there's
what's
something
the-
wrong, but there's something wrong.
What is more emotionally damaging to you? Being dubbed for a video game or being dubbed
I would
for
say being
another
dubbed for a
dude?
video. Actually, it depends on who you are. Because for me, being dubbed for a video game is like I guess I get it because video games. I enjoy video games, but also if you're dating someone that probably is in sync with playing video games, like Dan and Murky, like they play video games together. It's like I don't see them break it. Like they wouldn't break up with each other because of a video game. Unless they killed each other in a video game, which then in that case they couldn't break up because of the video game.
I will tell you this. For me, if my significant other came up to me and said, it's me or the video games, I would sell all my game equipment. It would make me hella sad, but I would sell all my game equipment in a heartbeat.
So if your
Like,
wife
there's
divorced
no-
you, you'd be like, nah, I'm done with it.
No, my wife divorced me. I would pick up the video games again. But if she said, if it's me or the video
you
games,
or the video games,
all the
okay.
game equipment would be sold. Like it's.
So
I'd find
that's
something else
what
to
it takes for us to get rid of that.
do. But because she loves me, she would never do that.
She loves you. No, she loves her freedom. She doesn't want you ruining her freedom. She wants you to stay distracted.
I don't know what that means.
She
but
wants
okay.
you to stay distracted, so she goes spend that money.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Oh, goodness. We ordered in last night. It was like $120 worth of food. I looked at the bank account afterwards. I was like, probably should have done that. But it was really good carrot cake.
So check this out. So Jose said the guy that he was mentioning earlier said that he thinks he won't finish the game, the history, I guess the main story of it, before it launches because the game is that massive.
Well, the question is, what type of player is that? Is that a player who mainlines the story, or is that a player who
Yeah, that's a
does
good question.
a bunch
Yeah.
of side quests and stuff like that? Because
Perfect.
Diablo,
You out
there,
there for?
in Diablo, there are people who can hit level 50 before they even get done with Act 2. Zombie Shadow's an example of that guy. And I mainlined the story, and I was level 42 and had completed the campaign. So it's a question how you play the game.
Yep, I get it. That's a good question. Like they say the main quest is about 30 to 40 hours, right? They say it's 30 to 40 hours. But like is that just
I always-
straight? Is that straight gameplay? And I mean,
I
even
always
if
find
it's
those
34
estimates such BS, because it's like a lot of it comes down to how efficient are you? How fast can you clear the room? Or are they planning on people, stopping for 5 minutes, just taking the skybox while in between every major
you mean
area?
like the loading into the raid? Oh my god, let me check out the raid.
Oh yeah, look at this beautiful sky. They sit there and they talk about it for 20 minutes. Some video games definitely pad their numbers like that when they talk about playthrough time. They'll estimate that a campaign takes 40 hours. They'll call it a 40-hour campaign when really you can realistically blow through it 20.
Yeah.
And other video games will say, no, it's a 30-hour campaign or whatever, when realistically, because of the difficulty of it, it takes most players 50 hours to get through because they're dying at specific encounters just over and over and over again.
Right. Jesus.
All right, here's a good one. Over or under? The
I like how you went back to high
The-
school.
combat mechanics in Starfield
Oof. Oof.
are going to be better than the combat mechanics in Redfall.
In Redfall?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's a good question.
They're both Bethesda titles, so it's a good comparison
Yeah.
of like the gunplay. Like it wouldn't be fair to compare Starfield to Destiny, for example, because they're made by completely separate companies.
Yeah. Man, that is. I'm trying to remember how freaking Redfall's gunplay felt. I don't think it was bad.
I remember it feeling slow and clunky. Like you had to aim very deliberately and things like that because it was just...
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think I do remember some of that as well. From what they've shown, it hasn't appeared that way. Doesn't mean it isn't gonna be that way when we get our hands on. Oh, damn, that sucks. When we get our hands on it, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel that way. It seems like it gets a little bit more free. I guess for how it looks, how it feels.
Over or under, Starfield is going to have a larger player base on PC than it will on console.
Most likely, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, people love playing those, Bethesda's games on PC, and I would say Bethesda's, legacy player base is on PC. A lot of it has to do with modding. So yeah, I think their PC player base would be a lot larger.
I'm gonna try it on console, and if I really like it, then I'll purchase it on PC.
Well, you don't have to buy it. I mean, you can have Game Pass.
I don't know.
The enemy team is taking the lead.
All right, so I'm gonna get on a side rant. Here's how I feel about Game Pass.
Oh man, here it comes, guys.
I really like Game Pass because it's a lower barrier to entry. I really hate Game Pass because it tricks the user into thinking that they own the content. And most people who've been using Game Pass for a long time kind of understand this, that things rotate in and out of the catalog.
Yeah.
Right? But if I see a game on Game Pass and I like it, I'm going to buy it because I don't want to lose access to it. Not saying that my player save will go away, but saying that like it rotates out of the catalog and all of a sudden I wake up one day and then I have an unexpected expense if I want to play that game because it's on the catalog and I didn't realize it anymore. So all of a sudden I'm forking out $60 to buy the base game when I could have just planned for it when I liked it and I had the money. Because I know a lot of Destiny players that played for years on Game Pass, and then when it came to Beyond Light and it's rotating out now, they're like, well shit, now I've got to buy past 4 years of content or whatever, or else I'm just not going to be able to access certain activities. I don't think I'm going to play Destiny anymore. Because wasn't that the case with you, Cyan? Like, weren't you a Game Pass player for a really long time?
Oh, I've been a Destiny player since the beginning. There was
Hold on, are you
season
talking
of something.
Are you talking Destiny or are you talking Game
this-
Pass?
Well,
Both.
Destiny's a
I've had
great
both.
example of the Game Pass problem.
You talking about when they
There was a whole season where you could get away with not having bought the game.
At
I
all.
forget which season it was. Yeah.
Because
And
it was
so
all
of
on
course
Game
I didn't
Pass.
buy the game. Yeah. But in the end of that, I got to the next season and it was like, oh, I lost all of my something light abilities and I ended up doing a double purchase.
So that was back when Beyond they brought it on Beyond Light.
Yeah, it was Beyond Light.
Yeah. Because that was when they released Xbox Series S and X, and they...
I think it was longer than the season. I think it was like
It was a year.
a couple years.
It was a year.
Where it was all the content was on Xbox for free.
Why would you give them money if you don't have to? I mean, that's how I.
It's not about.
But
Okay,
so
so it's
the whole reason they do that is to get new players. I wasn't a new player. I was playing anyway, so I just basically got a free ride for a while.
right, and so like for me, knowing that games rotate in and out, I don't want to lose access to that game. I can't even count the number of times Outrider's been on Game Pass.
So I thought...
Like it's gone in and out probably 6 times.
So
on
basically,
Game
you're
Pass.
just looking for a reason to give game companies money, whether you get access to the game or not.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm not going to worry about whether or not it's rotating in or out of the catalog. If I like a game, I'm going to purchase it.
Right. So the deal with Destiny, I thought it was Destiny Beyond Light went to Game Pass. It was Beyond Light. It wasn't the seasonal content. I thought that...
Yeah, it was all the major yearly expansions.
Oh, it was Beyond Light. It wasn't all the... Well, when Beyond Light went to Game Pass, all the previous expansions, I think they all just went free to play anyways. Right?
No, because Shadowkeep was never free to play.
Okay, so maybe not Shadowkeep.
And Forsaken was never free to play. All the yearly expansions.
I think Forsaken went free to play, right? Because that was... Because Forsaken, the story of Forsaken was...
before they sunset it.
Right.
So during Season of Arrivals, Forsaken was free to play for
Right.
I want to say 6 weeks. So that people could play through the campaign if they wanted to experience it before it got sunset. And that was for all players on all platforms.
Right. Okay.
But the point is, right, like, games rotate in and out of Game Pass. Certain, like, major titles
Right.
are there for a very limited time. Like, Forza is going to be there when Forza comes out for at least probably a month. But then after that, Forza's not going to be on Game Pass. Even though Microsoft should have all of its top-tier titles permanently on Game Pass to increase the value of the service. They don't do it. Like, Halo, when it first came out, was on Game Pass. Is it still on Game Pass right now? Halo Infinite? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Let's take a look.
Dude, I just look at it as if I'm going to play 2 large titles a year, Xbox Game Pass pays for itself. 2.
Sure.
So,
I get that.
last year, I would say it wasn't really worth it. This year, especially here, like, we have a couple month window here where it is majorly worth it. And if you wind up playing and figuring out one of those games is like that's your jam, and it winds up leaving Game Pass, and you're like, you know what? I'll just go and buy it, and maybe you give it a Game Pass. I don't know. That's kind of weird now because the Xbox Live Gold. So I don't know how that kind of works now because
Xbox Live Gold is no longer a thing.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Is like, so I don't know how the online component kind of works with that anymore. I don't know.
So they're calling it. What was Live Gold is now being called Game Pass Basic, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a different price point. But really, the rebranding is just to tell their shareholders that they've got X more subscribers in Game Pass. Like,
Yeah.
it's a way of boosting the Game Pass numbers without really boosting the Game Pass numbers.
Let me figure something out real quick. Anyways, SMO, you said, I think it's great that it's so big. If it was all the game was about was the story, I don't think it would be that great. Yeah. I like that thought process.
So are they hoping this is Skyrim in space? Is that what this is
essentially, yes. They've even like Todd Howard has even said that in some previous like dev commentary videos and stuff like that. Yes, this is being dubbed Skyrim in space. And you've played Skyrim? I have not.
Yeah, I love the shit out of Skyrim. I'd probably go back and play it every 2 or 3 years. I've done 4 playthroughs maybe, or 5, over the last, I don't know, what's that? Skyrim's been out for 50 years, 60 years, something like that.
Did you say 50 years?
Feels like it.
But who the hell would receive the game early and would speed run it? Yeah, it's like I want to get through the story, but it's so hard to be like, I know I'm gonna come across things. It's like, oh, dude, I'm really enjoying this. I know when you get to like customizing spaceships in Starfield, like people are probably gonna like put everything down, and they're gonna be like, okay, what's this about?
I think that it depends on what features are locked at what point in the story campaign.
I don't think anything's gonna be locked in story campaign.
Well, just hear me out. For example, in Diablo, you had to get to Act 4 of the campaign before you could get a horse.
Right.
If customizing spaceships is locked behind a certain point in the campaign, then there's gonna be a lot of people that rush to that to get the feature unlocked for the game that they want.
Yeah.
Before they start doing the exploring stuff.
I don't. So I will agree that there will be probably some locking of features behind certain things. I think it's probably going to be more tied to your character level, not the story. And because they've made some very clear hints that that's what it's going to kind of be tied to, is your character level. Like different star systems are going to be tied to your character level. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like totally locked off as far as your character level and not meeting the requirements of a certain star system level, or if you're just going to be under leveled to kind of any hostilities that are in that star system. Ooh, that looks really good. Now I'd be curious on gameplay features though, as far as like shipbuilding. I don't think shipbuilding would be tied to that. It sounds like that's gonna be more of like economic. Like it's just gonna be really expensive, so you're gonna have to build up your character resources, credits, things like that. Let's see what else is there. Oh, also, yeah, skills. I mean, you're also going to need to get the required skills to be able to do certain things. So that could probably also play into it as well. Why is our freaking battleship way the hell up there? Do my best to save your life. Yeah. Some of those rounds carry kind of deep.
So I think it's going to be called Game Pass Core.
Game Pass Core, which is just give you like basic, like live access, like multiplayer.
I remember
access.
seeing a image on Twitter about it with the price points. I'm trying to find it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking up this guy's tweet now.
Sports from the trenches. What's going on? Welcome. I can't wait for Starfield's biggest game. Starfield, biggest game of the year. Yeah, it. Biggest game of the year. Zelda was pretty big. Yeah. Diablo 4 wound up being the biggest Diablo game ever. I'd never played Diablo game before, and I played that one. Can't disagree with you though. It's probably been the most hyped game coming into this year. Probably still is the most hyped game for the year. Oh, this son of a. Jose, you said you think there will be extreme weather I think that there will be extreme weather situations in some planets. If there is, it would be immersive. Yeah, we haven't seen much of the weather system. We have evidence that there is a weather system. I would have loved to have made a video about this, but I mean, it's there. It's just there's just not much to kind of show off. But yeah, there's some planets that have had different weather. I think they even talked about it somewhat. Not to a great deal, but they did talk about it. Yeah, we're about to lose this match. I just realized like what time it is. I'm hungry. I'm gonna get some lunch after this. I guess Zion, are y'all about to get off or anything?
I'm still looking for this. I'm still looking for this information about Game Pass. I'm trying to find out the price points. I sent you a link to a pretty cool fan-made Starfield Series X themed console. It looked awesome.
Okay.
Just throw that up on the screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find some food myself.
Yeah, I mean, it just started hitting me really hard. I'm all bricked up for this right now.
Stop. That word, I don't think it means what you think it means.
Dude, yeah. I'll be back though. Probably in like 10-15 minutes. I just gotta get something to eat real quick. I'm not doing anything else today. It's too freaking hot to go outside. That and I don't need to go anywhere. There's not much really going on. The sports from the trenches says I don't think anyone's gonna finish it. It was all the illusion to just build up the story. There is no story. It's just an open world sandbox, like every other space game. It's funny, dude. It's dude, this is kind of where I'm at with the story. It's like, I want to go finish it pretty quickly, but it's also, I played space games before, and it's like, when things get a little slow and a little bland, it's like, I do want to have a story. It's like, I can just go kind of play, but there's going to be a lot of different stories, like different factions and stuff like that. You can go play through stories. That be kind of fun to be able to play it that way as well. Zion, are you around for the rest of the day? Or are you just gonna get off and go work on the Jeep?
I'm probably gonna grab some food and go work on the Jeep.
That's lame.
When you say work on, do you need to actually do repairs or stuff like that, or is it more like
building a kitchen?
In the
he's
Jeep?
making a kitchenette. He's making a kitchen in the Jeep. He saw all these van life videos and was like, dude, I could do that in my Jeep.
How big is your Jeep? I'm guessing it's not just like a Wrangler. It's probably one of the bigger ones.
Wrangler.
Sports.
But is it like playing it on Xbox, or is it like the?
Yeah.
I will be maybe
I
be
should
playing
say
it on
the fourth,
PC
yeah.
early next year.
I'll post some pictures of it over in the
But-
Discord when I'm done.
Yeah, I'll be doing
Okay.
doing it on Xbox. Yeah, we need pictures. Discord of the Jeep. What do you have a name for your Jeep?
Bacon.
Bacon? All right. He called his Jeep the pig. All right, I am gonna step away for about 15 minutes. I'll be back.
All right.
Dad, are you
In a
gonna
few.
be around?
Yeah, I'll be around.
All right, I'll talk to y'all in a little bit.
Is he just leaving his live stream up for 15 minutes?
Yeah, I can't lose those streamers. I feel like we need to talk shit about him for his giant streamer base for 15 minutes.
That's why I'm recording all this.
Some of these like news outlets, dude, that do the whole Twitter updates, trying to find something from a week ago is like next to impossible because they're tweeting 83 times a day. So scrolling down through the timeline, even if you have a screenshot of the exact tweet and when it was done, is really tough. I've been scrolling on this guy's timeline for like 10 minutes. I'm just back to August 2nd. It'll probably take me 15 minutes just to find the tweet that's talking about the
Oh, world boss. 12 minutes.
So I don't know if I'm hitting a bug or what, but my world bosses just haven't counted. Like, I don't know if it's because I haven't been alive or I don't know. Do you know what area it's gonna be at?
North end.
Is it already marked on the map?
Yes.
Okay.
It is right at the top of the map.
Are you gonna do it in 4 or are you gonna do it in 3?
Blend. If you're gonna do it in 4, I'll go piggyback on you. I'm useless in 4. So yeah, if you want to run and do it, 12 minutes, I'll go do that with you.
I think the one in the top of Skosglen was like a level 70 something, so it shouldn't be as bad as the dude level 90 the other night.
Yeah, I'll travel to Kiovashad. Oh, change my game. Or are you already in 4? Could I join on you?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm logging back into the game. It's the game, actually.
Well, then I'll just get it started. I'm on Torment. I'm headed north.
There you go. Oh, that's interesting.
What?
I just found out some Starfield information that was leaked on the 31st. I'm gonna send this to Shadow to see if he wants to share it. It is not something that's like story or anything like that related. It just has to do with things that were available once you see it on the Xbox dashboard.
So is there, I went into Saragar. Is there a closer point to that north spot? Or is that where you're gonna have to go to?
Probably Korbach, the closest one.
Well, teleport over there and let me warp to you.
Do you have all the waypoints?
No,
How do you not have all the waypoints?
because I don't feel any need to go collect them all. I just get them when I get them. Get my ass beat.
And it's in 20 minutes, you said, or it's in how many minutes?
In about 9 minutes right now.
Oh, Jesus, okay. Oh yeah, this is a level 90 boss. Great. Be phenomenal. He's gonna kick my ass. Lovely.
You know it's a level 90.
Because if you look at the map, the top left above the mini map, it says level 90 plus.
Oh, Whisper, level 90 plus, I see.
Yep.
A minute.
So have you ever watched that TV show on Amazon called The Expanse?
Uh-huh, I've read the books.
Is The Expanse video game that they're advertising right now tied into the same universe?
It is. It's a prequel to the TV show.
Okay.
And I was gonna get it because I'm a huge fan, but I read some reviews that there's some bugginess in them. I was gonna sit on it for a month or two, and it's a single player. It's not like it matters if I play it right now or not.
Isn't it part of?
For a month
Isn't
or
it
two.
coming out on like Game Pass?
Oh, it's already out, but it's not on Game Pass.
Oh, and I don't know. Enhance.
We got like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Get into town real quick.
Alright, he's spawning. Heard some noise. Wait, no, maybe not. Oh. It says I joined the event, but the world boss isn't here. That's weird. Oh, it's the countdown. It's just saying it begins in 3 minutes.
There's a Legion event that starts in 3 minutes.
Yeah, but you're not going to finish the Legion event by the time the world event happens.
Nope. But we might finish the world event in 2 minutes if we're seriously badass. Sorry. Funny.
Wait, did I reach the end of this dude's Twitter feed? And did they just cut you off after a certain number of tweets? Like, what's up with that?
Hey, let's be clear, it's the X feed, not the Twitter feed.
I'm dead naming it on purpose. So can I just not see previous fucking... Oh my god, I've been scrolling for 10 minutes just to reach the bottom of a feed. So Xbox has begun, this is from IGN, Xbox has begun using the upgraded Xbox Live Gold and has christened Xbox Game Pass Core ahead of its launch in September 14th. Alright, here we go. We have 15 minutes to kill this bitch. And if you're dead when he spawns, I guess it doesn't count for the seasonal challenge. Dude, someone's melting him. He's half elf.
Oh shit. Holy crap. Whose build is that? That's what I want to know. Holy crap. I've never seen a boss go down that quick. we've got some 80s, some 86s. Yeah, we did have some high-level people, but holy crap.
Yeah, if you have multiple level, yeah, there's one level 80, two level 80s. That guy's 81. So yeah, we had 3 80+ people.
Some nice gear too. Can't use any of it until level 60. Put all in the bank.
How is your Tree of Whispers doing? Because we did one last time, we did one today, so your Whisper Tree might be full.
It's season, right?
No, like the Tree of Whispers is just on the map.
Oh yeah. I turned one in earlier. That probably filled me up.
But they're different for each world tier.
Oh, they are?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Action of chaos. Give me some chaos.
So Game Pass Core will give players access to our advanced multiplayer network, a select collection of over 25 games to play with friends around the world, and exclusive member deals, all for $9.99 per month or $59.99 per year. So you don't get all of Game Pass with Game Pass Core, you get 25 games and multiplayer access.
Didn't just have the two chests overflow into each other to reorganize this fucking thing now?
I don't think they want people doing whispers in lower world tiers and then going up to get better rewards.
No, I'm talking about my actual storage chest. I bought the extra space because I need to store some stuff. And I've got more than 50 things now, so to use the second thing, it doesn't just roll over.
No, and if
start
you
pushing
sort
gear out.
and if you sort on a single tab, it doesn't sort everything, it just sorts the one tab.
Lame. Alright, I'm gonna go find some food. I'll chat with you later.
I just got back.
Okay, man.
What do you want? What'd you eat?
Potato, meat, cheese, pico, guac. Whatever I found, I just put on it. It was actually really good.
Alright, later guys.
Later, bud.
See you, dude.
All right. Let's get this going. Whew. All right. $13 Oh my god, it's gonna be in the middle of the night. Are you kidding? Well, hold on.
What are you talking about?
That's gonna be nothing at all. Wow, this will be done in an hour. Sweet. Damn, that's a lot. Alright. We got here.
Found the information that you were looking for. Send it over to you.
Oh, alright. What do we got here? Oh, as far as check out these Starfield themed Series S Todd Howard edition. Oh, that's dope. That's really cool. I'll have to check that out.
I was
So
just sent you
somebody
that,
made that, right? Like that's. I mean, you can't get that from.
I think so, but they're
Microsoft.
also doing. Like I've noticed a lot of recent special edition consoles that are being made, not for people to buy, but like as giveaways. And I'm like, dude, just release that color theme as something that people can buy.
Alright, so found out today Xbox Live is rebranding Xbox Game Pass Core. Oh, rebranding to Xbox
Right.
Game Pass Core. Monthly price increase. Name sounds degrading since you just get a core membership and not the ultimate, not an ultimate.
Oh,
Cash
I was
grab,
just.
in my opinion,
I
I never
was
asked
just-
for access to game library.
Quoted that tweet because of the infographic that was included in it, not what the guy was saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here's the infographic. Core, console, PC, ultimate, yeah. So hold on. So he's I don't get that. Launching in September.
It was more about, more about the price points
Yeah.
than what the
Gotcha.
guy was saying. I guess he's all pissed off about the name, maybe?
Yeah, like, dude, why? What? Like, people like that are dumb. Like, they get mad about names of things. You knew it was kind of coming once they introduced Xbox Game Pass. It was like they're gonna try and make things easier to understand. But yeah, no, that's a good infographic. I hadn't seen the core. I had seen the console, PC, and the Ultimate.
Yeah, that's because they're doing away with Live Gold and replacing it with Game Pass Core.
Right. No,
So that subscription level did not exist.
Right. I get
and
that.
won't exist until
Well, I was
September.
looking on the website here the other day, and I didn't see that. So yeah, I mean, it's just not on their website yet. Anyways,
September.
Yeah, September. So cool. All right. Anyways, back to playing stuff. Let's see. Ooh, I need to get this one done. Man, I am. That it's that time. All right.
Action stations.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon. Smoke generator started.
This is probably also part of the marketing strategy, right? So if you look at the exact conversations that's happening in our clan Discord right now, this is why Microsoft's doing it.
Confusion.
So, yeah. So Disco's like,
Smoke screen
oh wait,
set.
so I have Ultimate, I'm paying $15 for that, so I have to buy this in addition to that? No. It's a lower level. Oh, wait, so if I just buy Ultimate because it's the most expensive, I get everything? Okay, I do that.
Yeah, I mean they did that because they were separated out, like Xbox Game Pass and obviously our Xbox Gold and Game Pass. So obviously they wanted to make it a little bit easier to understand all the different tier branches and stuff that they have.
Enemy cruiser sunk. Off to a great start.
The ship is on fire.
You record. Do they have an annual fee? I was like, no, but they have a variable APR with a balloon payment at the end.
Eh.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Dude, get rid of this fucking destroyer, god.
Critical engine damage.
Oh.
Oh god, this would be so confusing for people.
Why? What's confusing about it? Let me look at the infographic.
Apparently they're not getting that Live Gold is the same as Game Pass Core. And they're thinking it's separate or something. And
Did you not tell them that, hey, Game Pass or Xbox Live Gold is going away? It's going to be Core now.
yes, I did.
Although I guess I kind of get what this guy was saying in the tweet, because right now we do get games on Gold, but now they've moved that up
No,
to
but
the
it's the
higher
same.
tier.
No, they didn't, because if you look at the core, it says it includes a of over 25
Yeah,
high quality games
On console. We
on
got
the
it.
console. So if you have 25 games, that's more than one game per, or more than 2 games per month.
Yeah, I get the math.
So unless
But
Live Gold
new
was giving you 4
new
games
on day one, that does not come on Core. That comes on all the others. Okay. All right. All right.
which
All right,
realistically,
all right.
the price difference between core and console is $1 a month. So would you pay an extra $1 a month for the day one access? I think most people would.
Yeah.
I don't get the whole degrading thing the guy was saying. Like, that's dumb. Live Gold sounds nice and Game Pass Core sounds degrading. What?
Yeah, I don't get what he's talking about either. Like, people get so wrapped up on, like, name prestige or whatever, title prestige. It's like, dude, it's not a big deal, man.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
What they got.
Let's give them a hard time.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Nice work. Nice work. Nice work.
He's fucked. And Nevada's got like no health. Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna step away from it.
Cool. Alright. Getting caught up on things. There we go. There we go. Alright. Get not close, not close there. Rock this guy. Wow. Oh my gosh. 25 days. Honestly, can't go by fast enough. 26 days, my bad. 26 days. Ridiculous. All right. If you got anything you're excited about Starfield, let me know.
Battle starts.
Let's see.
Capture that area.
Teammate, I need your support. Denied. Acknowledged. I need help. Affirmative. Roger.
Nice work.
All stations retreat. I need intelligence data. Denied.
All stations, proceed to capture that area. Enemy force sighted on the horizon. Good luck, everyone. Fighter airborne. Enemy battleship detected. Enemy cruiser detected. All stations, concentrate fire on the target. The ship is on fire. Problem solved, sir. Fighter airborne. Main turret critically damaged. Enemy battleship sighted. The ship is on fire.
Awesome. I love it when that ship is on fire.
Nice work.
Main turret critically damaged.
Problem solved, sir. Fighter returning to ship.
Jesus. Ow. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Action stations.
Let's give them a hard time.
Yeah, easy. Easy match here. But yeah, there's one on this side. All right. What a lovely day. In a month, be playing Starfield. Sure, everybody will be looking forward to that.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon. Enemy cruiser detected. Enemy destroyer sighted.
I'm back.
He's back.
You still live stream?
Yeah, I mean, I can turn it off. Kind of. Why? What's up?
I just had an idea. I'll talk to you about it off stream.
Oh, business idea? I like it.
Hull breach. We're taking on water quickly.
You're gonna try and overthrow the government?
No.
Alrighty. Diet wants to talk in private, so I'm gonna end the live stream. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Appreciate it. If he's got some juicy details, I'll talk to y'all about it later tonight. Later, guys. Thanks for hanging.